It only occurred to me this morning that a more appropriate song list than what we've got for our D&D games is one related to the vampire game. And so, if welcome to Rock and Roll Dungeons and Dragons. Take it. All right. So, we've all made some strange decisions in our life, haven't we? That have brought us to this point where we're sitting on the verge of going into Tilverton, an apocalyptic wasteland from which there has as yet been no survivors. A handful of people have ventured in, teenagers mostly, boys almost always, and they've gone in and they've pinched a silver coin or some golden diadem or maybe taken something that was important to themselves that they lost from their own household treasury. But in each case, such an individual has been stricken down with a wasting sickness that has proven, up until at least recently, impossible to lift. Lethal in 100% of cases. And so technically you won't be the first people to go into Tilverton. In fact, you won't even... Halgar the Grim obviously wasn't even the first person to go into Tilverton and come back out again, I presume. But no one who's done so has survived. And that's a little bit foreboding. Yet, this is what we've chosen to do. And so, of all the decisions we've made in our lives that have brought us to this point, whether we've come from faraway lands or nearby, whether we are young or we've been around for centuries, it's this decision now to walk beyond the shadow, to walk into the wasteland that will define who we are more than anything else. But this is what you've chosen to do. And so we prepare to head off inside.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, I plan on doing some shopping before we head.
Alright. Let's start with Anton arriving. And then we can, get to the preparations that are so necessary for this exciting adventure. Anton, you've arrived now in this town, this village, this settlement. Settlement is an accurate word. And it's a shambles, and you've somehow gotten yourself tangled up into this quest to go into Tilverton. Now, admittedly, it has to be done. Someone has to do it, right? Like, someone has to be the first adventurer to plunder the cursed locale, but why is it you?
Well, apparently this Halgar the Grim is in there, and he needs to be taken care of, and if we can pin him down while he's in there, cut the head off the snake, then we could alleviate some of the shit, the actual load of shit that's going on up here.
Brave though that may be, there are some who counsel you otherwise. Purple dragons. Are you a purple dragon yourself?
I am a purple dragon knight.
Excellent. Well, these guys aren't knights, right? But they're purple dragons nonetheless. And so they look to you and they see a messiah. They see their true savior, and they tell you about the folly of the Lord and of the aspirations of Shah. And they tell you of the elven diabolist who pulls the puppet string from behind the curtain. And they show how this supposedly Cormyrian land, now let's not even talk about the fact that Vandergehast is the one who really rules Cormyr right now. Let's not even talk about that. But let's just look at Gloriana, and can't you see that this is a land that needs you? And the men, they practically beg for a Jartoon dynasty to take over from this disarray. Then it won't matter who emerges, whether the Hidden King comes back or not. If you take the throne now and are able to secure Gloriana, the men behind you, the purple dragons, like, you know, they're not going to stop you. And if you're able to build this realm and hold on to it, then by the time the dust settles down in Suzail, the Hidden King is back or he's not, you'll be the only contender that matters.
Well, despite what's going on up here, and I understand their hesitancy and their desperation, I have the utmost faith in Princess Alusair. But seeing as her appointed lord of this land has abdicated his throne without legitimate issue, and I've been sent up here to do something, I might as well hold this as steward in trust until she finds an adequate replacement.
So you won't go to Tilverton then, they say?
No, I will go to Tilverton, but I fully plan on returning.
Well, they will be here when you return, and, you know, like, you know Cormyreans, and they're not going to shed each other's blood. Like, this is, I mean, they just did only recently, apparently, here, which is an exception. Fratricide, nothing less, really. Almost regicide. But, aside from isolated incidents, you can generally rely on Cormyreans not to instigate such revolutions. These are dangerous times, though. We haven't had a civil war in centuries. So I guess all the old rules are kind of out the door, particularly when you've got Sembians whispering in your ear. Anyway.
Well, I would ask these men to keep a vigilant watch, but refrain from acting until I can receive their full reports on my...
Their response is a salute. You know, they don't need no words. You do what you've got to do, sir. A salute, and, you know, they hope that the transition will be peaceful.
As do I.
Alright. And now, we can prepare. Let's decide what it is that we need. Braxton, you had some ideas?
Yes. Alright. Since we have a bunch of money in the group treasure, and it's not going to do us any good if we fucking die, we might as well buy some stuff.
Sounds
You
like
also
a
have-
goblin communist.
I believe the phrase
also
you're looking
have-
for is YOLO.
Pretty much.
I'm not familiar with such a word.
You only
It's
live once.
It's a dwarven phrase.
How quaint. And poignant at this point. But I see you have some very highly valuable magical items. If you're not looking to use them, maybe you could trade them in.
That was another thing.
But to whom? You know, who has 2,000 gold pieces? I suppose Copperheart.
Well, this witch market seems to have an abundance of magical items.
Yeah, we could see if anybody wants to barter one.
Yeah, that's more likely. Yeah. Yeah, most of these objects tend to be either heirlooms belonging to a family, like my grandfather's magical sword, or they've been crafted by someone like Perrin in order to make some yeah. So the point being that yeah, absolutely, bartering might work, but the cash reserves of Gloriana or any individual in Gloriana are extremely slim. Yeah, there's just not many people who have cash laying around, and unless you're interested in livestock, possibly property, then yeah, they're not going to be able to buy a lot of stuff from you.
I doubt many people are actually going to want the...
Little cash poor.
Resource rich.
I doubt many people are actually going to want like the Shield of Dark Faith since it's a holy symbol of. But you might find an enchanter that may be able to repurpose it or something like that. Or
And
some
like, yeah, and an enterprising person would swap it for, say, their enchanted battle axe, knowing that the shield is worth more, and then having their own sinister objective to then sell it to some evil bastard and make a bit of profit.
Yep.
So who among us does not have any enchanted weapons or items?
I don't have anything.
And neither do I.
I'm not sure if anything is really necessary for me, however.
Are you sure?
Depends on what's to be had.
If you look in the Witch Market handout,
Okay. Oh, which market? Which market?
It's in the rumors and news.
Thank you.
Didn't it just come up when I pressed
Yeah,
close?
I conveniently also closed out another thing.
Oh, lol. Okay, cool.
I closed that one too.
Right.
but
Right.
while they're looking at that, the things that I'm looking at purchasing for myself at least, potion of fire breath and thing of wyvern poison.
Both are available.
Would it be alright if I took some of that, or would people be okay if I took some of either the quartz or some of the fool's gold to pay for that?
Yeah, do it up.
They grumble that they don't know what they're going to do with all the fool's gold, but for some reason they want the quartz. Everyone's like on quartz mad. Quartz is like the new tulip.
It's the new platinum. You don't see much platinum out here, but quartz is worth just about as much.
What is this Lightbringer thing at the very bottom of the Witch Market? Or not the very bottom, but the third from the bottom.
Lightbringer, where is it? Oh, it must be a +1 longsword that does a D8 radiant damage and has light as a lantern.
If it's
I think.
If it's the one that I'm thinking of, it's a mace from the starter.
Yeah. So if someone's got D&D Beyond, have a look and see if it exists in there, because I no longer have access to it. So there might be in there. It's not in my treasure list, but that's what I would have meant. Like I just made that stuff off the spot, but if it's in D&D Beyond, that's what it would be. Otherwise, it's a +1 radiant sword cast light.
It
Does
is.
anyone have D&D Beyond?
Is it the Fendelver?
Yep,
Yeah.
would be from Lost Mine.
Yes,
It's
a
a
mace.
mace that
It's a
does an
mace.
extra 1d6 radiant damage.
There you go. So that's what it is.
Two undead creatures.
Oh, so it's not extra radiant damage. It's just damage to undead. Is that all?
Yep.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Oh.
And then as an action, you can cause it to emit light like a torch.
They're disappointed in their own Morning Star or their own flail, and they'll accept half price.
Yeah, I remember that one specifically because someone in Adventure League took that and tried to tell me that it was the extra radiant damage against anything. No, it's just against undead.
Yeah, that's pretty underwhelming. Yeah.
A mace is just a D6, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
In that
I'm
case,
really good unless there's like I don't see any anything like cloak of protection or anything in there. So
there's
Yeah.
you wearing armor?
yeah, I have medium
Yeah.
armor.
There's potions of invisibility.
Yeah, that could work.
They're only $250 a pop.
How much do we have to play around with?
So if you look in the treasury,
Treasury, alright.
we have a treasure handout.
Yep.
We have about 1,100 in just gold pieces. We have 280 quartz, and those are worth 10 gold apiece.
Oh, we still need to figure out what 4th level spell scroll we want from all those sessions.
Sure.
Greater Restoration.
Maybe.
That's not a wizard spell, so I don't know if
You're right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't really need anything, to be honest.
Alright.
I upgraded to rapiers last game, and that's all I really need. I don't really need anything more.
Okay. Are you okay with bartering magic items?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
gonna
having
do
a fire
the,
sale, man.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Barter the Blade of Fallen Angels for a enchanted longsword and shield.
The blade Braxton is actually grabbing, because that thing has history.
Oh. Okay, then the shield of Dark Faith. I'll barter that for. I don't want anything associated with Bane, so I'll barter that for a enchanted longsword and an enchanted shield.
Enchanted longsword, enchanted shield. Yeah, alright, I accept
The
that.
longswords. Okay.
Yeah, so they're both +1s.
Good deal.
Yeah, the only thing I could possibly use is maybe a +1 rapier or 2. Yeah, we good? Anybody need anything else?
I mean, if no one else is going to buy anything, I'm just going to spend whatever we have left on consumables.
I must say,
That's fine.
you're lucky that I turned up here in time to... You wouldn't want this to fall into the wrong hands, he says as the dwarf says as he takes the shield off you.
Indeed, good dwarf. I thank you for this barter.
It's better yet that we killed the bitch that used to wield it.
I agree with that.
And Braxton is going to go over and ask Droffley if he has any more myrrh that what he bought last time.
Do not. I've just come up from Suzale. Coming the other way, you see. But now that I've learned that the road is closed, it's fortunate, because I was only really doing a bit of a relief trip to this place anyway. And I was hoping to see if there was something I could take back. Doesn't look like there's a great deal, but if you've got any trade goods of your own, that I'm sure I can get rid of it in Suzale, so I'm interested to do a swap.
Well, we got the 3 weapons of gullibility.
Oh, yeah, well, 100 gold pieces each, I suppose, for the novelty. Sell them to an actor or something.
You come back in a couple of weeks, we'll have opium out the nose.
Aye, you will you? Well, then I'll be back. Give it a month, just in case. You never know with the roads at the moment. Should be less than that, though, so get a move on if you can.
Alright, so sell the weapons of gullibility to him. You said you got rid of the Baneite shield. And we had dumped out the ale previously. So I got that out of here. And I'm just going to update this fool's gold to be copper pieces, just because that makes it easier.
Yeah.
Wall of Fire is a 4th level.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
We'll need all the light we can get.
I think a wall spell's a great idea.
Honestly, you know what would probably be a great choice?
What?
Might be locate creature.
Yeah, but we have to be familiar with it.
Fair.
Yeah, I think wall fire's the winner.
Perrin is happy to oblige. If any place deserves to burn, it's going to be Tilverton.
Alright, I'm gonna convert our other, just like the copper, amber, and that shit into gold and silver, if that's alright as well.
Absolutely.
Just so
Roughly
we have
takes it all.
so we have like a raw gold value to work with.
Roughly takes it all and drives the value of quartz up to 11 gold pieces a chunk, and just the capitalizes. Makes it 10% value.
Son of a bitch.
Where's my quartz? I need it for my spiritual healing.
Oh yeah, also Anton pumped out a couple of things that, well, not a couple, but like a few things of holy water.
Beautiful.
Like 6.
Who's your god?
Lathander.
Beautiful. Morning Lord. There, you find a great deal of people, supporting your prayers. There might not be any strict Lathander worshippers here, but there's probably not a single person who doesn't love the Morning Lord.
So light must be brought to this downtrodden land. What better place to spot than Tilverton?
Hey, they drink to that.
Alright, I think I'm set.
Well,
Alright. We've got about little over 4,000 gold and 7 silver to work with, right?
Well, do we want to see if we can find any apothecaries to get any potions of
health potions? Yeah.
Yeah. It might be scarce, but it's worth looking at.
Yep. Sounds good.
So they've got the, what have they got? Just the healing teas. They don't actually have potions, do they? Do they? Are there any potions at all?
There's
No, I only see the healing
for
tea.
healing potions listed in here at all. No.
Right. And then they'll do them for 75 gold pieces each. I think that's, is it 2D?
Clean them
2D4
out.
plus 2? Yeah, that's it. 2D4 plus 2.
How many can we get?
Oh, 10.
Yeah.
Sold.
Sure,
Hell.
buy them out.
Yeah.
So 750 gold.
Yeah.
Pump money into the economy.
Yeah, that's it. Love it.
We also have this, I believe, unless they took it in the, I don't know where they would take it in Planescape, we should have like a self-heating bath somewhere around.
Oh, right. I don't think they took it to Planescape. Or they wouldn't fit in a bag of holding.
What is that for?
It's just a self-heating bath.
Take a bath.
Yeah.
Everybody, put on your Sunday best to get murdered in Zombie Town.
I mean, it seems like an extravagance.
I could do with the bath.
You find it refreshing.
Yeah.
You'll cleanse right down to the
less
bottom.
restoration. Yeah, let's spend 1,000 gold to grab those.
Hell yeah.
Five potions of charm for 75 gold pieces.
I don't think
Potion
we're
of
going to be
charm?
charming anybody.
Yeah.
The only charming I'm going to be doing is with a sword. Turning people into charms.
I have advantage on that, so.
Well, we could get a few more potions of fire breath. Those might be useful for some of those melee folks.
Yeah, sure. I'll fuck with one.
Sure, why
one
not?
one of the ones of invisibility I think would be better for me. Get all sneaky deaky.
Alright. Well, we got 2,500 gold still left.
They show you the peripat of wound closure. They insist it's a Netherese item, and yeah, it turns out to be accurate. Yeah, someone flogged it from a ruin decades ago, and they've hung on to it ever since. But yeah, they don't. They've heard that it saves lives. They don't really know what it does.
That could be useful if anyone wants that.
I'll not let the shadow touch me.
Alright. We want to just grab some potions of invisibility and fire breathing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Some invisibility and fire breathing.
Alright.
Done.
Anton will take a fire breath.
There are 3 of each.
So yeah, let's grab... Okay. Oh, there was one more invisibility. Okay.
Take some more poison.
Let's see.
You can enchant your arrows with poison. That way they do poison damage.
Yeah, let's see here. So let's... Well, the poison is 1,200 gold. It's fucking expensive shit.
1,200? What? That was 120.
Yeah.
There's a couple of different types of poison.
Oh, is there?
The stuff that's listed here, the other stuff that they have here is either contact or ingest. They don't have just basic poison here.
Yeah, the wyvern poison is the one you want for weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't have any real like weapons ones here, other than the wyvern. But let's see, we can get. Okay, we'll get 2 more potions of fire breath. That'll take us down 1,000. So one of those for each of you.
And probably just get some witchweed or spell slots.
Let's grab all 3 of the invisibility potion.
Done.
Shit, just put the rest in the coffers of Gloriana and push off.
People tell you that that you are the lifeblood of this place.
Now watch as we arrive and Larlock is still there taking notes and we all get eliminated in one spot.
Now, Cole.
What's the DC for the potion of fire breath?
Oh, 13.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, my lord.
Tom. So, before you head out, you are, you head down to the pub at some stage, head down to Rumble Belly's bar, and you get talking to him. And, says, hey, you did pretty good out there in Anaraka here.
Yeah, we took care of some of those Zentarum bastards.
Not many people can handle themselves out there in Anaraka. Dangerous country. But you did alright. I'm glad. It's good. You're a real survivor. You must have some talent.
Tamora was on my side.
Tomorrow. That's great. I used to have some property out there. Had a bell barony, actually. Part of my ruin, part of my lands. We had this Netherese ruin. Never did completely loot that place out.
Yeah, you told me last time we didn't have much time there. We were on a tight schedule.
You hear you're going to the Tilverton, man. That place is a death trap, why don't you just leave it behind and let them go and sort that stuff out and come join me, the pair of us. We'll go in and have a look through this ruin, see what we can't find. Even if you just pick up a quarter of the stuff that I take, then you're gonna be rich for the rest of your life.
Maybe when we get back. I got some unfinished business with some of the folks there in Tilverton.
Right. He juggles a dagger. Just flicking it over in one hand, like another person might flick a coin. As you say, you know where to find me.
I'll make out of this here fight this side of the ground. I might give you a holler about that.
Hope you do, he says. Now, is is he not here? Tamil was here, but he's gone again.
He left ages ago.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. I guess he's not in it anymore. And so, when Draftly Thunderbeard comes up to him and says, "Oh, you marvelous piece of technology! Why don't you come with me? We'll go and loot Tethimar. We'll go and reclaim my heritage. You're a dwarven machine. You should work for me." He said, "Right, I will. I am following instructions." And that's the last anyone ever sees.
Oof.
That is unfortunate.
Why? We didn't need a cleric.
Yeah, me.
Ooh.
He says in jest.
So,
Holy Paladin over here.
Now Braxton is also, we have Braxton and the Paladin as our healers. Super!
yeah. Ubo, in the days that you're preparing to leave, there comes a new visitor, a new traveler, who has reached Gloriana, and they notice you, and there is a kind of magnetic connection.
Oh my god. Yes. All the yes.
And Artemisia is a turtle who arrives here. She's an Eastern kind of martial artist, and only 19. And this 19-year-old martial artist has become quite smitten with you in the few days in which you have become acquainted with her. She implores you to join her in a quest to travel north and see the rivers of the Dale, to see the Serpent River, and to swim all the way to the Moon Sea. And She thinks that with your strength and with her cunning, the pair of you could begin a strong force.
Ubo thinks it's best if Ubo sticks to his promises and helps his friends.
Artemisia thinks Ubo should join Artemisia in important quests.
Okay, Ubo did not want to hurt Artemisia's feelings, but Ubo feels Artemisia's shell is too small.
Artemisia has never known such rudeness. Artemisia wants Ubo to know that his shell is too jagged.
That's racist.
Ubo is proud of his jagged shell, and Ubo will not be shell-shamed by some tiny shell tortoise.
Artemisia thinks that Ubo is far too snappy, and she leaps away and goes and joins a ninja clan somewhere.
God damn it, Arctic.
Vicious. Vicious.
Yes.
We're getting water one day from the well shortly before we head off to Tilverton. And the woman who works at the well, earning her copper piece a day, doing her duty, fetches the water for you and pours the bucket into a jug and offers you the jug. Please drink.
I pulled out my hands to take some of the water and to drink the water.
And you do. And after consuming this clear, crystal, pure, refreshing water, you open your eyes and the woman has changed into a man that you recognize, a man that you have spent half your life chasing, that you have crossed worlds to reach. Hello. Believe it has been a long time since we met, says Hisoka.
I rip off my mask and I grab him by the shirt and say, "Do you remember me?"
He breathes only vaguely, only in my most distant memory. I saw you out of the corner of my eye. I wish I did not, but I did. But I stayed on my task. I had my duty. I completed it. And I have not seen you since. Congratulations on finding.
Destroyed my life. I grew up with nothing because of you. I grew up just carrying this void because of you. You don't understand what I've been going through ever since as a child when you killed my parents. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
He laughs a little bit. Do you want me to pity you? You've had it better than most people will ever know. You've had an exciting life. You've traveled and seen the world. You've learned what it means to be a man, and you want me to pity you? Boy, I made you.
Fuck you, Ahsoka. I challenge you to a duel. Right after,
He laughs again.
right after this
But you
business
will-
with Tilverton, I challenge you to a duel. Me and you.
He sighs. I do not want to kill Bishop.
Are you a coward?
Maybe. I was too late to save my brother. I was too foolish to save my niece. I was too wicked to save your parents and too stupid to kill you. I ran away every time. Maybe if you go to Tilverton, you'll give me enough time to run again.
Or meet me in Tilverton. You owe me that much.
Thinks about it for a while, and then he nods. One day, I will. I owe you.
I let go of his shirt.
He
And
kisses you on the cheek. Like a viper, snap. And his lipstick is left on your side of your face, black lipstick.
I spin around real quick and attempt to slap him. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit him.
Make an attack roll. He's quick. He's too quick. See you soon. It's a promise. On the graves of your parents, I will be there.
Just walks away shaking, like with a lot of anger. He can't handle it. Just leaves his mask on the ground where he threw it and walks towards the group.
This time, Braxton is making his final preparations. He's bought everything that he will need for this trip. And as he's ready to shoulder his burden, he gets a visitor.
God damn it, I knew it.
You should stay. Tilverton is a cursed land. It'll even if you find Helgar, it'll change you. It'll destroy you. I can't lose you.
And he just stops for a moment. I don't know what you think is between us, Helena, but I don't see you that way.
Her jaw drops. Her one eye trembles and wells, but doesn't break. The tear sits on the brink, growing larger, but defying gravity. I understand. And she glances over towards your bard, towards Copperheart. I'm your. I wish you both the very best. And she holds herself together as she turns away and heads towards the forge. Soon after, thunderous hammering can be heard ringing out from the forge. Several blows, followed by the clanging of tools being thrown across the room.
And Braxton just kind of sighs.
And so
finishing his packing.
it looks like we're ready.
I'm gonna, with the last little bit of money we have, I'm just gonna buy that last potion of fire breath, because fuck it. Unless we can find like a greater healing potion.
No.
Didn't think so. Did you guys mark down in your inventory the specific potions?
Alright, which ones do we have? Like, how are we divvying?
Well, I grabbed I put like the potions of lesser restoration and the potions of healing in the group, but you guys said the ones that you were wanting specifically, I did not put in here yet.
No, everything's good.
So it's not. I was just making sure you guys put that stuff in your inventory, so you have.
Oh, yeah. Well.
So
Okay,
we got one
so-
potion of fire breath for whoever wants it.
I have it.
You already had one.
Oh, okay.
We have one. I just bought the last
extra
one
one.
that was there.
Yeah, I have one, you have one, and I have the invisibility.
Well, Braxton had. So. Okay, I should have asked this, Matt.
Yeah.
I had counted stuff as I was buying stuff earlier, and then we went and started buying stuff as.
Right.
When I bought stuff earlier, I had bought a potion of fire breath as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, yeah, that's fine. So the numbers that I came up with were the ones that were left. So that's
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with that.
yep.
So
No
yes,
worries.
So Calm has one, Enton has one, and Braxton currently has one. We have one left. So I'll just throw that in the treasury. Whoever wants it can claim it.
Cool.
Anybody
Alright.
want to claim that, or Ubo would probably be a good one for it since he'll be up front.
Hang on, what was it?
Potion of fire breath.
Does it chug an action or a bonus action though? 'Cause I think that's
Using
an
a potion is an action. I'm pretty sure.
But it's a bonus action to exhale.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once
Is it?
Once
Shit,
you,
that's awesome.
yeah, once you chug the potion, you can exhale
Wow.
3 times as a bonus action.
Gosh. Yeah, they are pretty brutal to give barbarians. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll grab one.
It's particularly if you don't want to use your rage. Yeah.
Or once you have the rage activated.
Or once you've got it activated, yeah. Although that's a little bit, drinking potions and raging is a bit of a
Well,
challenge.
and it lasts for an hour.
Well, you'd drink
Oh,
it.
right.
And you'd drink it,
Oh.
and then you'd rage, and you'd be raging so much you're spewing fire.
Pretty much.
You'd be our own little dragon.
That's it, Dragon Turtle.
Yeah, it lasts for an hour or two, so you could take it before we fight anything.
This
That's
isn't
cool.
even my final form.
Must be one of the best second level spells there is, I think.
So what happens if you use that when you've latched on to someone with your teeth?
Fried meat.
Bad things for them.
It just sloughs off, like the skin sloughs off.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright. And so, we head off. And we're as ready as we can possibly be. And when you approach the grand ruin of Tilverton, once home to 10,000 people, and the largest metropolis for hundreds of miles in any direction, you see that the shadow wall, which once dominated the area like a snow globe, has now vanished. You can no longer see it. But the closer you get to this town locked in time, where all the grass has died beyond a certain point, 100 meters or so beyond, 100 feet or so beyond the wall that surrounds the town. You can see that nothing lives in there. As far as you can tell, nothing lives in there. In fact, nothing even seems to live in these trees on the vicinity of it. There is only one animal that you spot, at least from a distance. Black birds, crows, or possibly raven, that caw in the distance, calling each other as they sit in the branches of the trees that line the circle of death, which is Tilverton.
We are also making sure that, if not right away, soon after, the army is going to be positioning themselves around Tilverton.
Excellent. Excellent.
So that case, in case they do escape, we have our army surrounding to fucking pound.
Yep.
The army is slower than you are, and so you arrive long before it, giving you essentially an entire day to wait. By the time they arrive and they encircle the place, and put up the stakes and whatever defenses that they're going to need. And during that period,
Well,
yeah,
I think we'll go in.
oh, you'll go in just once they arrive, sort of thing, and you'll let them. So you say again, like because you're going to obviously be quicker than them. So even if you left at the same time, you'd arrive before the army does, unless you go with them.
What do you guys think? Head in before they get all set up?
But yes.
Yeah, before. We don't want to give them any time to find what they're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. The less time we give Halgar to find his shit, the better.
No worries. As you approach and get closer and closer to this great ruin, a sense of dread, a deeper sense of dread, begins to settle over your heart, begins to infest the pits of your belly. And it doesn't seem that Copperheart is immune to this terror. She grows increasingly anxious, increasingly agitated, and unsettled the closer we get to Tilverton. She continues to lag behind the party and then slow you down as a group, more or less, since Braxton hangs back to kind of keep up with her, and you're then forced to either abandon Braxton or then wait for him. And by the time you finally reach the edge of Tilverton, she's shaking her head. She's shaking her head.
What is wrong?
I'm not going in there. I'm waiting for you out here.
That's fine. Stay out here with the army.
He'll nod.
If there's an issue, you know what to do.
Didn't you want to record our actions, Copperheart? Sing songs about them. Won't be a great witness out here.
She's nodding vigorously, and she continues to nod when Vicious asks his question. Although her eyes sink into a self-pitying furrow. I can record them when you come out. It'll be fresh in your mind, and you can tell me everything that happens.
Come now, don't pressure the lady. This place is no place for a gentle heart.
Nor cowards.
She nods vigorously at both statements.
Braxton is just going to shoot Colm a look, but we'll take her off to the side for a moment.
She's trembling.
Poor girl.
I mean, she's a dragon. What does she have to worry about?
She's a dragon?
Oh, yeah, you didn't know that, did you? Oh, yeah, she's a fucking giant dragon.
Don't go in there, Braxton.
Very, very.
Sorry.
Don't go in there. You should command the army, and they'll escape. The town is huge. You'll be needed out here to ride them down. What if they've got horses? There's no way that these peasants. You can't really trust them. Even if they wound him, he'll get away. You should stay out here.
I wish that I could. But they're going to need me in there. I'll come back to you. And then you can show me different places you wanted to show me.
She nods. Nods again. Okay. But how about if they go in first, and you can go in when we can see Halgar, because we can see him. There's no shadow. We can if he runs, we can see him, and you can go in after everyone else.
He's just gonna give her a hug. I promise I'll come back.
Okay. See you soon.
And he'll give her a kiss.
She gives you a more passionate. Colm feels a little bit, I don't know, unsettled.
Good luck, says with a smile.
1,000 blessings on you, hero.
Whatever floats your boat, Belle.
And then he'll turn around and walk back to the group.
And our newest hero's jaw is just collecting itself, and Anton, there you go. The things you know, things you learn.
Dragon must be a new term for a cougar.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a different term for a dude.
God.
Alright. So yeah, there you are. You are on the edge of Tilverton, and yet, while you may not see any sort of shadow globe, the shadow wall as they were calling it, you feel a terrible sadness, a terrible sickness the closer and closer you get to Tilverton. When you look at these buildings which have fallen into disrepair and have collapsed under the weight of decades, and yet you know that it's been less than a year since Tilverton was afflicted, was destroyed. But the ruin that you see is an abandoned place of decay. And no animals, not so much as a rat. You don't even see spider webs within there. Just these crows, just these large black birds cawing at you, at each other, cawing in a chorus of dying and dead branches. The trees at the limit of this settlement, having only white trunks and ghostly branches with few leaves.
So, as we're getting ready to go in, and as people are heading in sort of one by one, Braxton is planning on being the last one in, but as each person heads in, he's going to cast resistance on them. Just the cantrip.
Excellent.
What does that do? Oh.
You add a d4 to your next saving throw. Just as you're passing through the barrier, just in case. He's not sure if you'll need it, but to test the barrier, he's doing this as a precaution.
You don't see any barrier. There's no nothing obvious, at least. You sort of feel one, but there's nothing to see, like a glass film or anything like that.
But you said there was sort of like a line almost?
Ah, there sort of is. Yeah, that's right. There really is.
Oh,
There's
like
a
the
point
dead
at which-
grass and stuff, right?
Precisely where the dead grass begins, which is roughly around about here, somewhere around there. Maybe 300, 400 feet from the gates, from the wall itself. The grass just dies. So there are a few houses and a few farms that lie out in this, habitable zone, but of course none are inhabited. They've long since been abandoned in the wake of the shadow. But now, you can see the walls that loom up ahead, built 30 feet tall to keep out a Sembian invasion, and it's at around about this point here that the grass just suddenly dies, and you're alone, save for the crows.
So I guess we'll approach.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna kind of just be out in front of everybody.
Sure thing.
Is this a new map?
So
I
hold on.
recognize this map.
This is the Tilberton map.
Was this colourful last time we were here?
It was probably under shadow.
Yeah, you must have. Because last time we used this map, it seemed a lot darker, but the layout of the map is exactly the same.
Yeah, it might have had a shadow filter on it.
So yeah, if Calm's going first, he would have the resistance on him.
Yeah, I wanna be doing it kind of stealthily off the road, just in case come under arrow fire or something like.
Absolutely.
Like skulking towards along the edge of this wall.
So you go along the crumbling wall.
Middle.
That's it. But even your steps cause the crows to take flight and fly away. So while you remain quite hidden, an observant eye might notice the actions of the birds and make some sort of conclusion. But whatever the case, you feel it getting closer. The air is stiller. There is even less smell and the sensation that you get is one of kind of cold electricity. It numbs you, but at the same time causes painful tingling, like a pins and needles sensation. And it's definitely on your front side. If you turn away from it, it remains, emanating from Tilberton, more or less. Whatever.
Kind of like when you're standing near a bonfire.
Yeah.
You feel like okay.
Yeah, that radiant energy.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
So I am. Braxton is going to drink the flask of dwarven courage.
Okay. Tom suddenly pulsates a little bit, or has a small seizure. It's nothing too grim, but it's painful. Make a Constitution saving throw with the resistance bonus. Yeah, no worries. So you felt the energy, and you can still feel it now, but you're enduring it. There's a kind of depression, a kind of negative energy. This necrotic or necromantic force is sapping away at your life. You feel like you've just gone beyond somewhere. And when you look back, your friends, your companions seem fuzzy, as if through a distorted mirror. You can't make out faces. You can only make out shapes. It's like being in a kind of fun house. But then looking at you, apart from the little shudder you gave, it's no different to them.
Okay. In my haze, I'm just gonna push forward.
Colors are are lesser here. Things are not so much darker, but less pronounced. It's dimmer. Everything seems more grey. Everything seems more shadowy. The light is every bit as bright, but when you look at the sun, it's just like this penetrating beam of white. There's no yellow colour to it or anything, and the grass around you is, of course, dead, crunching underfoot. The grey stones, the grey concrete, the grey walls up ahead, the grey trunks of trees. It's not completely muted of colour. It's just less pronounced. And now Vicious has walked through the band as well. Make a Constitution saving throw, Vicious. Beautiful. And so the energy racks you worse. Perhaps it was because Cole was going ahead so cautiously and you just walked straight into it, and maybe you weren't ready for it. Whatever the case, 4 points of necrotic damage. You suffer that as the skin around your fingernails recedes and around your gums, and you get bags underneath your eyes and grow new wrinkles, just as if you aged between like 5 or 6 years in an instant. It wouldn't be that noticeable unless, but it is to someone who was watching you. And so, Colm, you see Vicious, with whose face only recently revealed. You see him kind of age a little, go a little bit pallid before your eyes.
I'm gonna make eye contact with him and just nod and put my hand over my mouth just to be quiet and kind of push forward.
It happens to Anton next. Constitution save.
And I did
Braxton.
cast it.
Yeah. I will need it probably.
Excellent. So you walk through this shadow wall, and the light of Lathander is washing over you. And the instant you travel through this haze, this invisible haze, you feel the light of Lathander fade away. But it was powered and concentrated on you for the moment when you needed it. And so now here you are. You can feel the negative energy slowly eating away at your very life force, at your follicles of hair, at your skin. But Lathander's light is within you, and thus you don't bear the obvious effect that Vicious is suffering.
All right.
2 more.
Cast it on Ubo next.
And I'll enter.
Con save.
Should be within 10 feet of Anton.
There's an irony that turtles don't live a long time, but I'd like to think that that's myth. And evidently, if you were just aged 10 years, Ubo, no one noticed it. You suffer no effect.
And Braxton will cast it on himself and go in.
The last of you enter, and you look back, and the world behind you is just a haze. It's colourful, it's green, and it's yellow, and it's bright. And there's not a lot of life out there, but there are at least birds. And but you leave them all behind, and even the birds just seem to be smears on a screen of glass. Make a Constitution saving throw. And you too are fine. Here we are. we're in the streets of Tilverton, or perhaps I guess we're not yet. We haven't breached the wall. But you can see that up there on the wall. You see shadows flittering about. Here and there in places where they shouldn't be, but there's no sign of any inhabitants. And the place has an eerie stillness, and it's extremely quiet to the point of silence.
See any tracks or anything?
Make a survival roll. Not here.
So it's hard to actually show on this map since the squares are so big.
The squares are 30 feet. That's right. It's the closest representation I could make.
Yep. But
And
I wanted
so,
to.
staying close to Anton at the moment.
cool.
I wanted to keep an eye out to make sure there's no people up ahead of us, or if the gates were open or closed.
Beautiful. That's a great perception check. And you spot that you don't see any people, but you do see shadowy shapes of people within the windows and various and up on the basically up here on the turrets and towers themselves. You don't see anyone. You see flittering shadows in a humanoid shape. You also spot a grappling hook, which is hanging from the wall over here.
I want to point out the grappling hook. Is there like a grappling hook and rope and all that kind of good stuff hanging there?
No rope, just a hook.
Okay.
How tall is the wall?
About 30
feet.
feet. Yeah, that's right.
Is the entrance open or closed?
It's closed.
Huh. That gives us an interesting decision.
Well, if we can get the hook down, we have rope to throw it back up.
Anybody have a mage hand?
Do I look like a wizard?
What's a wizard supposed to look like?
I don't know, actually. Well, yeah, I do, actually. They're supposed to have robes and beards and stuff like that.
A dead one getting
Racist.
devoured by shadows.
The elf wizard back at the castle doesn't have a beard.
Well, they're not mandatory.
Doesn't have a soul either.
Well, can we stop standing out in the open
Yeah.
Yes,
talking
let's
about
move.
this and keep going?
I'm gonna keep moving closer.
The shadows seem to melt away. And the closer you get, the less convinced you are that you actually saw anything at all. I mean, you trust your own eyes, but I don't know. This place is weird.
Right through the front gate, then.
The front gate
Gates
is
are closed. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, probably.
Doesn't mean they're locked. Doesn't mean they're barred.
Yeah, I'm gonna rush up to the. I want to cover all this ground as quickly as possible, so I'm gonna rush up to the wall. I don't want to be caught out in this kill zone here.
You are unchallenged, save that your rushing disturbs a bunch of crows and ravens that are nesting, lurking within here, and they take to wing. Oh, go, go, go! And there's like a murder of about 12 of them or so. Previously, you didn't see any.
Weren't there? Didn't you said that the animals were specifically avoiding this place?
They
Except for
were.
crows.
Animals were coming with the hundreds of feet of this ring, and there doesn't even seem to be any life at all. Not a blade of grass.
They might not be animals.
Well, we saw crows before coming in here. Or
but
ravens.
not inside the barrier.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
but crows are soulless monsters. So.
that is also true.
Still keep an eye on them.
Is there another door, or is it just the big main gate?
There's a second door as well. Yeah. An auxiliary
small
door.
one? Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Can I try to? I want to see if that's locked. I want to try the handle.
It is locked. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It does seem to have its lock intact. The lock is degraded over the years. I mean, Tilberton's only been destroyed for a year, but it bears the rot of decades. It's a rusted lock, but relatively secure nonetheless. Dungeoneers, would be familiar with this sort of typical deterioration.
I'm gonna try using my thieves' tools to open it.
Go ahead. The sort of lock that, yeah, there we go. It's simple enough. If you ruined it, you might have ruined the lock entirely. But you open it expertly, and the door swings open. It seems to create a shadow far longer than the door should. When you open the door, it's this hugely long shadow that reaches out towards the heart of the town. But yeah, the door opens with a creak.
Is it a door directly into the walls, or is it like into this turret here?
Is it a tower room? Yeah.
No, it's built into the main gate basically. I reckon the auxiliary. Okay. Yeah. I think they call them portals, sally ports. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right, I want to make my way in.
Beautiful, and you have now breached the wall. It's darker in here. Perhaps that's the shadow caused by 30 feet tall walls, or perhaps not.
Can I still see? I don't have dark vision since I'm a halfling. Can I see all right?
Yeah, you can, but it's that greyness that people who do have dark vision are quite familiar with. It's not quite that pronounced. There is some colour, but it's just
muted.
Everything is muted. Everything is not so much cast in shadow. The shadows are darker and blacker, but there is still a lot of brightness, like a black and white photo, more or less.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many shades of grey that even the reds and the blues end up being just a different type of grey with a kind of bloody or midnight tint to them.
So a person with dark vision would not be able to distinguish whether or not they were actually utilizing that feature.
Almost not, but they would see more color now than normal. So it's partially distinguishable, yeah. But it's much more like looking through dark vision than normal eyes.
Good to know.
In any case, Holmes' sharp ears, and perhaps those of you who are back a bit further as well, detect a noise coming from this building. It kind of sounds like furniture being not dragged across the floor, but rather, I suppose moved. If you can imagine a drunken hippo walking through your kitchen, it would disturb the feng shui of your dining set.
I'm gonna peek my head through and just kind of motion everybody to come in.
Make a. It's in this building here. Make a stealth roll if you. Okay. Yeah, if you want to move up to it. Yeah.
I want to motion everybody to come in the gates.
Cool.
But yeah, I will move up to Is there like a window or anything right here in this corner?
There are windows, absolutely. Yeah, the curtains are drawn, but they're not drawn perfectly, and you're able to get glimpses. And there's multiple windows, so make a perception check. You can hear something crunching around in there, and you reckon it's got to be about 200 pounds by the sound of it, and quite clumsy. But you can't see it. You think it's at the rear of the building, though. Like, so where you're looking through, you'd never be able to see it anyway. It's more likely in this further southeastern wing. 200 pounds and clumsy.
What do you call me?
Nice.
Yeah, I'll tell everybody that, hey, there's some shit in here.
Braxton is going to move over and just check this building real.
I have
Make
suspicion.
a perception check.
I'm going to use guidance on myself.
Oh, no worries.
As well.
Is there a door back here?
There is. Are you walking over there casually, or are you sneaking across?
I will sneak, but I have disadvantage.
Excellent, excellent. Braxton, you hear the sound of metal on porcelain or clay, like scrape, scrape, scrape. Have you ever, scraped a knife across a plate?
Oh, God, that fucking, like, screeching.
And the fork is even worse, right? Like, the fork is worse. Well, you can hear them both. Scratch, 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 scratch. Buddy, you're gonna, like, break your plate. Vicious, you move across there with stealth and guile, and from your vantage point, it's quite easy to see within a human corpse that is moving around on the inside of this building. They're wearing clothing that was the fashion of the day. Relatively nice clothes. They've got some brass buckles and a little silver charm around their wrist and around their neck. You think it might have once been a woman. And this corpse is walking around the room, bumbling into tables and chairs as she goes, picking up a makeup kit and taking herself in front of a mirror and is applying makeup to her face.
It's just what I thought it was.
Braxton is going to try and peek in the window over here.
Yeah, with your perception check, Braxton, you don't see anything from where you are, but you think that the scraping is coming from the rear of the building.
Alright, he'll try and sneak around there.
I want to is this just like a fence right here, right?
Yeah.
It's just like a garden variety, like 5-foot fence.
That's right. It's designed to keep out the dogs more than the bandits.
So I could easily scale that
Without a problem. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Like it's not the stealthiest move, but yeah, you could like.
Yeah, I want to hop over, and I want to inspect this area where we saw the grappling hook.
Excellent. Cool.
And see if there's any sort of footprints or signs of people.
Make an investigation or survival check. And meanwhile, Braxton, you've gone over here, and your suspicions were right. There's a gentleman. He's dressed in fairly nice clothing, the fashions of the day, brass buckles and brocade coats, and there he is with his knife in one hand, his fork, and his plate. And there's just bones, probably chicken bones or something, on his plate. And he's scraping away at essentially an empty plate and picking up air and putting it into his mouth. He grabs an empty glass and drinks from it and puts it back down. Method actor, perhaps.
Well, I'm going to slowly sneak back to the...
I wanna ask Vicious what he saw.
He'll
What
whisper. Looks like a zombie, dead woman just
That's what
fumbling
that's
with
exactly
makeup.
What I thought. What we
don't-
should do is move very quietly and block these doors if we can. Quietly block the doors just so they can't get out, or they can't. If they get out, it's going to be difficult.
I think we could if we could just keep moving. Blocking the doors might cause some noise.
You're right. Let's get back to the others. All right. We saw some.
You've been here long enough now that you're pretty confident that you can hear stirrings going in the other buildings as well. Like there's the occasional crash or some other similar noise. So yeah, you're confident that these are not the only two populated buildings in the town.
No. So we saw some undead in these houses. Is that what you saw over there as well, Braxton?
He'll nod.
It's best we move quietly, or else we're going to be inundated with the former denizens of this city.
That's what we need to find where Halgar ran off to.
I'm going to point to the giant house right in the middle of the city.
That's what I was thinking too.
I suspect he went in there.
Oh, is it like
They
a
went-
mage's tower?
Yeah, it's the War Wizards.
In the middle, no, it's not. The War Wizards thing was like down here somewhere on the other side. The keep in the middle was where the mayor was.
Tortured soul, okay.
Must have been different interactions then.
Well, we need to be moving either case.
Yes. Quietly.
We'll do the best we can.
The thing is, you did see that, Anton. That's the scary part of it. You see these shadows as Colm saw shadows dancing around up on the up in this wall or upon approach, but they just seem to vanish. Now most of you see shadows here in the windows, just flickering. But the very buildings that you're only a stone's throw away from, 30, 40, 50 feet away from, something like that, you can see like movement behind the curtains, silhouettes, and the curtains themselves seem to tug as if by a tiny breeze, but what breeze could be blowing inside?
Pay the shadows
yeah.
in mind.
And yet you still hear scrape, scrape, scrape. The plate noises are the same, and the bumbling goes on the opposite side of the building, so it's... Yeah,
Oh,
you
I'm
do.
probably going to regret this.
Alright, make a perception check.
Alright.
Oh, wow. Well, DC 23, my god. There you go. Pretty good. There are two individuals. This one to the south looks like a woman. She has a makeup kit in one hand and a kind of sponge in the other. This one up here appears to be a man. He has a knife in one hand and a fork.
And what are they doing?
Watching you. They kind of vanish when they like nosy neighbors. They keep appearing from behind different curtains and different positions, trying to watch and hope that they can't be seen.
Speaking of which, I wanna alert Vicious. I'm gonna show him my potion of invisibility, and then I'm gonna down it. I'm invisible.
So Braxton is just going to step up here and just kind of... There are two spirits, one in either window. They're watching us.
They
He's gonna
disappear
kind of whisper.
from view. So they back away, like purposefully away from the window. You're pretty sure that they saw you, and like a pair of children who now know too much, they back away from the window silently and confident, and disappear from.
And keep on guard.
Yeah. We need to continue to move.
Crash comes the noise from this building. Crash comes the noise from this building. This one sounds like a table falling over. This one is definitely a plate shattering against the floor. There is movement going on inside both of these buildings.
Alright, we move. Let's move.
Yep.
Shh, they open through the doors. Shh. I guess at this point we roll for initiative.
Ah, fuck. Oh, calm. Oh, wow.
I didn't want to do anything anyway. I don't want to waste my invisibility.
Okay, so like you planning to get a move on?
Are we going to the central?
Yeah.
That was where we were headed, yeah.
Alright, yeah, I'll start moving towards the central building.
No, note the 30-foot squares. So
Yeah.
the move will be 2 squares.
Alright, so yeah, I'll dash to up here.
Ooh. Brax.
Braxton will dash right up next to him.
You hear the stumbling noises of these entities as they seem to hone in on you.
So, because of Barbarian, my move speed is 40 feet, so is it right if I just disconnect from the grid and move using the ruler for the correct amount?
If you want, man, yeah, go ahead. But like, it's kind of meant to be simulated anyway, because dwarves can only move 25 feet. Like,
Yeah, I can only move 25 feet too.
I was mindful of it, so you know, you can if you want, but I don't think it's going to help because it's meant to be, you know, simulated anyway.
Alright.
Yeah,
So I'll dash to keep up.
cool.
Hey, we're arranged like a Baldur's Gate group.
Yes, we are.
A little ways from Baldur's Gate there, boys.
I'm gonna
We are.
light a torch and walk right here, or run right here.
We are so, like, thank God this takes, like, constitution saves, because I think, like, all of us are like, hardy fucking classes.
Yeah, good thing I reneged on Great Weapon Master and took Resilient Con.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, McCool.
I'm just gonna keep rushing up.
Okay. Just a second then. There we go. Okay. Ah! Die, you fuckers! Die, you fuckers! It's coming from this direction, and there's a meatiness, a heartiness that sounds like it's being blown from living lungs.
One of Halgar's housecarls. There's no time. I'll dash again. Still heading towards the center building.
So then, Braxton.
Braxton will be dashing, but he'll be kind of veering slightly that direction.
The corpses close in from the side.
Dash.
Do I see anything ahead?
Make a perception check.
Can we all?
This would have dropped.
You all make, yeah. There's yeah. Excellent. So what's up ahead here is a shrine. Those of you who've been here before will remember that the shrine of Seamorph, who is the goddess of nobility and of right to rule, is stationed here. A female, a statue of a lithe and beautiful woman. You can see figures in the base of it, though through the haze, through the dark haze, you can only vaguely make out their numbers and shapes. But it seems to be like a wall of humanoid entities up ahead, near the shrine. Vicious.
To run up to this house and going to gonna chuck the torch on top of the roof.
What is with you and starting fires?
Maybe the zombies are attracted to light?
The one instance where it might be useful.
Yeah, I mean, his
But also-
pyromaniac. Go ahead.
I feel these zombies are a little bit smarter than your average bear here.
Well, the average bear would run away. Not be drawn to.
Alright.
Of course, I'm not an expert on bear. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, that's okay, because they're not bears. But anyway, you throw the torch on the building and set it on fire, and yeah, you can hear stirring coming from within. You've definitely gotten the attention of something. All right, cool.
Samesies. Staying incognito.
No worries. The figures are about 250 feet in front of you, 300 feet, but they're just starting to come into view for you. 300 feet is about the limit of what you can see beyond just general shapes. And so it looks like there are several entities up ahead, armored entities, or shadowy figures alongside them. A small squadron of warriors.
Human. Oh, okay. Ooh.
And do those all count as one?
Yeah, that's right. They're individuals,
Okay.
but you're not certain at this stage. It's
Okay.
It's difficult to tell.
All right. My turn, or you got something else?
Do you think, Doug?
Right. Turn to Vision and said, remember, we have to get out of here too. Let's not stir up all the hornets. And then I'll dash forward again.
Excellent.
Braxton is going to dash over here. And does the commotion sound like it's coming from inside the house or
Outside? Actually, outside. So you would probably be able to see at this distance some of what's going on. You can see a farmer with his scythe attacking something, and behind the farmer with his scythe, or kind of fighting alongside him, is a farmer with his scythe, but he has no flesh, he has only shadow. They wear the same hat, got the same weapon, same general shape, but I'll carry out! Someone's upset back there.
fun?
That in you
That's all
go.
that I can do.
Righto.
I dashed to get here.
No worries. One of these corpses bashes on its own front door, bashes until it bashes it down, and is only standing a handful of a short distance away from Vicious, maybe about 10 feet away from him. Meanwhile, while that one breaks through the door, another one comes up the alley, and it's able to charge him down. And as it does, she raises the club that she's carrying. And you can see that it's no club at all, but rather a meat cleaver. This jagged meat cleaver that she attempts to open him up with. But upon attacking, the cleaver just shatters. She swings it at Vicious and lodges it in the side of the wall, and it breaks apart. Ubo.
Ubo will keep running, but kind of veer in the direction he expects Vicious to run.
Vicious, you're engaged with one, but the other has not yet reached you.
The one in front of me I'm engaged with, or one behind me?
The one behind, yeah, this one to the rear.
I will. I will swing my sword at the one engaged with me.
She's a woman dressed quite nicely with her old-fashioned clothing, but when you strike her and open up her chest, caving in the fleshy, bony cavity, her soul seems to spill out, and an exact replica of her, but made entirely of shadow, suddenly appears beside you and attempts to destroy you, to wrap its fingers around your throat and consume all life that is within. How much damage do you do? It's a middling blow on this cadaver, and it would take several strikes of that magnitude to bring this shambling corpse down.
And I'm just gonna run past it, and I guess in front of this one right here.
No worries. You're able to, because they're like the 30-foot squares. You're able to dodge away. But you aren't. But unfortunately, both of both the corpse and the soul will reach for you as you attempt to go past. But with no weapon, the corpse is not able to do anything effective. The shadow, however, reaches out with her long fingers, and does a 16 hit?
Nope.
And barely misses. You feel the cold bristle along the back of your neck.
Is it a action or a bonus action? Just sheath my sword.
Action.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
I'm gonna see the guys ahead of us. I'm gonna look back at us, at my friends that are engaged. Say fuck it, and then just close in with this one, and then slash the shit out of it.
Awesome.
Advantage on the first strike.
Yeah, we'll just use that as the first strike then.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. It's got a little bits of scraps of protective clothing, but not enough. However, when you strike it with your first attack, a soul to match this this fat man spills out, and this fat spirit defends its own corpse.
Okay. Yeah, ignore it. It's 12.
Wow.
Ignore those other two.
It's a good hit, and while it doesn't bring this shambling thing down, it gives it a moment to pause.
And then I want to use... so that was one attack. So now I'm no longer invisible. I want to use my bonus action to Hunter's Mark the...
Beautiful.
But then I want to continue to attack the corpse.
Excellent.
And check that. 5.
I should have Colossus Slayer on that one though, right?
Oh yeah, I should.
Cool.
11.
That's good. All right, and a couple of blows like that, and it'll be reduced. You can see that you're breaking this thing's corpse apart as bones are shattering and turning to dust, and the skin is flaking away as you tear at the mummified flesh. But it valiantly stands its ground. Enter.
Alright, seeing the skirmish going on this way, I rush down this way, and I reach out to Ubo and cast Protection from Good Evil.
Excellent.
And that's my turn.
There you go. Alright. And the smoky tendrils from the fingers of the dead leer towards their target. Towards Vicious, towards Colm, and towards our unknown hero who is suffering down here in the corner. And so the soul reaching for Vicious tries to scrape along his face for 17.
No!
The caress is inches away, but the coldness is numbing. And the one for Colm launches itself at him, but is clumsy, and you are far too dexterous and agile. Ah! Whoever's up there, Braxton, is in dire need of assistance.
Alright. So, because it's tough to really see here,
Yeah.
if I've moved there, can I actually see this thing?
Benefit of the doubt, yeah.
Okay. So, in which case, Braxton is going to down the fire-breathing potion and breathe on this shadow.
No worries. And it screeches as it sees you approaching. Okay. But fearing fire as much as it does all it can to avoid it. Still, 9 damage. Alright. And your flames lick at it, and the entity withdraws in terror and in fear from your assault. But the corpses continue to shamble. One on Vicious and one on Colm. Picking up a plowshare. It attempts to slash Vicious. An 18, does that hit?
Yep.
I think it misses, doesn't it? Oh, right. I must get 16, 17, and just finally 18 on Vicious. Alright, so you're struck with a jagged plowshare grabbed in one hand by this woman who has discarded her makeup kit. As it hits for 7 damage, it cuts into you and eats away at your flesh. You feel terribly drained of energy. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Doesn't that say on a critical?
Oh, it does too. Yeah, you're right. Didn't read it. All right.
I was going to say, this would be a lot worse if it's on every hit.
Sure would. And the next one goes for Cole.
Ooh, yeah, that's it.
5 damage and Constitution.
On a crit.
Yeah, that's right. We just established that like seconds ago. Alright.
That one was almost a crit, though.
Pretty close.
Yeah. The arrow away.
These two are on our friend. And he roars furiously as they hack into his flesh with their carving knife. And then meanwhile, these entities up here just seem to maintain their vigil for the record.
Since these squares are 30 feet, does that mean we can share squares?
Yeah, basically yes. Like, it's all supposed to be quite simulated, and so just move yourself like here if you want, and you know.
Well, I want to move in front of Vicious, and then with my extra attack, make it bonus action rage.
Yep.
Extra attack at one attack at each of these two, if possible.
Yeah, sure, no worries. So you just wedge yourself in that sort of position, and yeah, I'll just like move Vicious up here. The point is that he's being attacked by these two. The positioning is not too critical.
Well, yeah, I want to get in there, and then I'm raging, and then I'm reckless attacking both of them.
No worries. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly where you position yourself. Is at that at the apex between the two corpses.
So the first attack is at the one on the left, and the second is at the one on the bottom.
Excellent. One on the left defends. No, sorry, the one on the right defends, and the one on the left is severely wounded, but she continues to fight on. Her body broken.
If she continues attacking Vicious, it's a disadvantage, and he has resistance to any damage.
Ah, cool. All right. Vicious, the fleshy corpse is barely held together, but the soul seems dark and strong.
I drop my blade, and then I unsheath the Gladys Gloriana, and then I just do 2 swipes at the shadow.
Both of them striking successfully, and the creature is annihilated. Is destroyed by your vengeful blow. The lumbering corpse seems very concerned by the loss of its soul.
You remove them from the initiative by deleting that one.
Thank you, man. I should know not to do that by now.
They had 18 initiative.
Yeah, thanks.
I find it to be much easier, because I do that as well. I find it's much easier to just send to GM layer once something's being killed.
Yeah. There's ways of doing it, and I'm gonna have to be less careless. It's like knocking your drink over, you know. I'll do it from time to time.
I mean, they don't have to go.
That's true too.
Yes, they do. All must go.
Cool.
Must go.
So I'm gonna take 1 swipe at the zombie.
I think that hit.
Boom.
Crunch, and it destroys it utterly.
And then I'm gonna take 1 strike, and my other strike at the shadow. Is it still alive, or is it gonzo?
Ooh, let's see.
12.
Right. Magic weapon?
No.
It's still alive.
Okay, I'll take 1 more swipe at it, because I do have 2 weapon fighting.
Huh.
So I got 3 attacks in a round. Does 13 hit?
Sure does.
And you would have Colossus Slayer on this one, right?
I wouldn't. I've already used it.
Ah, yeah.
It's only on one per round.
So you shred into this entity, and you cut it to pieces, but it still remains as a pair of disembodied hands and a desperate face.
Shit. All right, that's me.
Anton.
I'll rush up to assist him and try to strike it down.
Okay. Leering towards him. second strike will obliterate it.
Again.
Yeah, that one at least I sent to the GM layer.
My man.
Oh, okay.
Alright. So, Braxton, you're up.
And they're up.
Of course they are. Gee, I'm bad at this. Alright. Having breathed fire on it's terrorized. It panics and tries to flail at you with its scythe, Braxton, but the shadow is weakened, unable to harm you. Your companion is likewise defending himself in his madness, in his mad rage. Yeah.
All right. Well, time to try this baby out for the first time. Braxton is going to unlimber the Blade of Fallen Angels and try and hack this thing to bits.
Somewhat appropriate somehow.
Yeah, I thought so.
That'll do it.
Oh boy, what a first hit.
Destruction.
And we'll just step up the 30 feet and just yell, down! And as he ducks, we'll just breathe fire on
The man that you
that one.
No worries. Which one's are the top one?
The other shadow.
Excellent. Oh, the other shadow. Yeah, no worries. Beautiful. So it's a dex save, right?
DC 13.
Cool.
You can do that?
Yeah, you can do it up to 3 times as a bonus action.
No,
It's
I
a
mean,
ridiculous one.
wouldn't that hit the guy in the middle?
Because
Even
don't
if you
worry
shout.
about the positioning too much. Don't worry about it too much.
It's a very
fire-
fluid battlefield.
Remember,
Exactly.
that's each square is 30 feet, remember that.
It's just we can't represent it. So
Rule
The
of
potion
cool,
also-
boys. Rule of cool.
The potion also specifies it targets an individual. It's not a line, it's not a cone.
Oh, it's not a cone.
Nope.
So okay, so it's different to the actual Dragon Breath spell.
Yes. It is a single target breath.
Ah, okay.
You can single target an individual within 30 feet of you and make that individual make a dex save.
Actually, spitting them.
oh, interesting.
So yeah, it takes 13 fire damage.
All right, and is consumed and vanishes to the ether. All right, the umbral corpses both turn on you, since you are clearly, the bane of their existence or non-existence, whatever. They both attack Braxton. 1, 2.
Second one will hit. Tis but a scratch.
And the tortured soul does indeed go to try to kill Vicious, but he has disadvantage, is that right?
Yep. Because of Ubo's, the Ancestral Guardians.
And then
And Ubo, and he has resistance to all damage.
he is a very determined tortured soul. 18 and 18.
AC of
Tortured Soul or Umbral Corpse?
On Vicious. Oh, sorry, did I rolled the wrong one, my mistake. Yeah, cool, alright. Damn. Yeah, that's no good. And the plowshare that she was carrying shatters just like the carving knife. Yeah, right, Ubo. You're up.
Ubo is going to carve into
Crunch. That breaks and shatters him. Her.
They both hit or just a 17?
Ah, they both hit. matter little in either case.
And then he'll start moving towards the one to the north.
Yeah, excellent. Alright, Vicious. This one's about like 30 or 40, maybe 25 feet away, kind of ambiguous. But it's moving in on you, it's closing in. You've got the Gloriana in one hand, the blade of Gloriana. What do you do?
I'm gonna charge up towards the corpse and
Beautiful.
yell for Gloriana and swipe times.
The instant you do, its soul pours out of its chest. But it's a hit. A flesh wound. But a decisive wound nonetheless.
Alright, so have these guys moved at all?
No, they have not. They don't even seem to be stirring. Like,
Okay.
yeah, they're just like statues.
I'm going to use my action to dash across the street. And then hit this guy with Hunter's Mark as my bonus action.
Yep. Anton.
Dashing, this half-elf cheesy dashing.
The soul leans down to Vicious, but it is not effective. Braxton. This fellow is just going berserk. I guess I better give him an initiative roll. Heh, well done. Yeah, he hacks one of these to pieces.
Alright. Braxton will hack at the other one. And
Crunch.
it's only the first damage, the second one is just versus Celestial.
Oh, no worries. It remains standing for now and retaliates upon you.
You have 2 attacks though, right?
No,
Oh,
I
does
do
he?
not.
Right.
Oh, that's right, multi-class.
Yeah. And one on Vicious.
God.
Finally over.
How many crit fails is that against him?
Yeah, I know.
2 is a...
Ubo is going to carve up the zombie
Aha.
because he's probably won't be too effective. Reckless attack on both of these.
That's it. You're rewarded for your recklessness. And it crumbles under your mighty.
How's that house fire going, by the way?
Spreading.
Good to know.
Alright. That means Vicious, I believe, with just a shadow to go.
Choop.
Ladies Gloriana is triumphant, and the entity is destroyed. Alright, Cole. You can hear a commotion going on. Day, every one of you!
I'm going to dash up here.
Alright.
Do these guys seem to notice my existence?
Let me just see. No.
All right. Now, what are your rules on for Hunter's Mark? Like, if I don't pass it to something now that it's dead, will I lose it?
If that's the way, like the rule should say.
See, I don't know what it means.
Per the rules, as long as you maintain concentration on it, you can. It technically the spell. You still have the spell. It's just not on anything until you move
Okay.
it with a
See,
bonus
that's what I
action.
thought. I just wanted to clarify.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, Tim knows his
Yeah,
ranges. So.
I'm just gonna leave it then. Just bonus action to scratch my butt.
I've been playing a hunter for a few years.
Oh, what?
Sure have.
Alright.
Braxton, let's get moving. And now dash.
It was Berserker's turn, by the way.
Is
Oh,
it?
that's right.
He
Yep,
levels
it
the core. He raises his axe to attack Braxton. Ah! What do you do, Braxton?
I just saved your life, you moron!
Make an intimidation check with advantage. He calms down. You're the only living thing I've seen for quite a while.
You're the first living thing we've seen since we came here. What are you doing here?
This place is cursed. Let us get out of here.
You've got a job to do.
No. Must find a way out. Must find a way out. There's no escape.
Follow me. I'll show you a way out.
And he raises his axe and nods. And he will do that. But he keeps mumbling and sputtering and not quite chuckling to himself. Yeah, he's a mess.
That was my 60 feet to move there.
No worries. We're out of initiative. Presumably, unless we don't want to be. Are we attacking things?
No, I'm not.
Not yet.
Alright.
Somewhere else.
So yeah, he'll, since Braxton doesn't technically know who this motherfucker is,
We know who came in here, though.
I mean, we know that there have been other looters that have been in here too.
That's true.
And honestly, this guy just wants to leave, and we don't need to deal with him, so let him fucking leave.
Or
So-
inversely, he could help us kill all of these guys.
Do you want to try and convince him? You can try and convince him.
I'm gonna pick up my sword here and then
Hey, you there.
No worries. You grab your sword and you gather it up. What do you want? Let's get out of here while we still have our lives.
Our lives are useless if we don't do anything with them. You look yourself capable, man. Care to help us clear out the rest of this city?
Clear it out. What use is that? Just add your corpse to the other corpses.
There's riches. You don't strike me as the cowardly type.
Make a persuasion roll with advantage.
Oh, good thing I have advantage. No.
You look strong between the group of you. I will stick around. I will, but I will not die in here. This will not be my graveyard.
How long have you been here?
Oh, I do not know. I cannot really understand if this sun is real or not. I do not know.
Have you eaten?
He thinks about it. No. And suddenly you hear his tummy grumbling. No.
I'm gonna cast Goodberry. And then hand him some.
He sniffs it and gobbles it down. This is good. This good.
Good, yeah, good berries. I'm gonna eat 5 myself.
So did he get 1 hit point from it?
And 1 hit point, yeah. I'll give him 5, and I'll eat the other 5.
Oh. There's this. I feel a bit better. Very weak. Feel weakened.
So, by the way, with how we would have distributed everything, since there's only 5 of us, each of us has 2 healing potions and 1 potion of lesser restoration.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Okay.
Because I figure we'll just distribute them evenly.
Come. There's more fighting to be had ahead of us.
Should we not take some chance to find a better way out of here first? Find our route of escape?
We were just gonna go through the front gate, same way we came in.
He grabs his axe. He doesn't want to, be that guy.
Hey, if you want to go, we're not gonna stop you. But we would welcome the help.
Well, I will stay with you for now. It is good.
Alright, follow us then.
Alright, who would like to take care of him?
I will, since I've rallied him to our cause.
I can't disagree with that. Alright, he's on roughly half hit points, about 30, 35 or something.
Okay.
And, yeah.
What's his name?
Yunga!
Okay. Cool, alright.
Oh.
Shall we move forward, boys?
Roll for initiative.
Yep.
They have awoken.
Oh.
They see as Anton takes his steps forward, they all turn as one in unison and gaze upon him and raise their weapons, both sword and staff.
Fitting.
He's still not last. Let me know when about an hour has passed, by the way, man.
Yeah. Okay, Vicious, you see in the distance this massive sword and steel suddenly turn as one and begin marching towards Anton.
Do these look like shadow creatures or actual living people?
They look like armor, yeah, mummified flesh in armor. Although one of them doesn't seem to be very badly mummified at all. At this distance, you'd struggle to notice many details.
I am going to gonna pull out my pistol and take 2 shots at this one.
Excellent. But you break through the plate. You hear the sound of your bullets penetrating thick armor, and it causes the entity to be slowed down temporarily, but it marches on unperturbed. Oh, whoops! I nearly. Whoops. Okay. So 11 damage. Yep. Cool. Beautiful. All right. And at that point, a blast of dark energy. It comes from the staff of a robed figure to the south, dressed in the Netherese style. They're gonna roll 3. The magic missiles of pure dark force energy are launched towards Anton and smash against him for 8 points of damage.
Alright.
And the Umbral Warriors begin to charge forward.
Alright. That guy's really far away. I will move up 1. I will put my hunter's mark on this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then just take 2 short bow attacks.
Bam.
And then the second one with Colossus Slayer. 16 hit.
Ooh, let's see. It will not. It will not. He raises his shield, and the arrow is collected. There's a definite cunning and an intelligence as it raises the shield to block it.
Okay.
I need to roll a concentration check for protection from evil.
Indeed. And as the first arrow did hit, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, good. And so while it was only a middling blow, as soon as you strike it in the chest, a shadowy soul permeates out from underneath the armor, and it fights alongside its own corpse.
Ha.
All right, Anton.
Alright. I will charge forward and I will attack this ghost.
Excellent.
What am I doing?
No worries. Bam!
I'll dump a first level smite onto the.
Excellent.
Is it undead?
How would you know? We haven't checked.
I don't know.
But yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
Just destruction, annihilation, obliteration.
24 on that first attack. Jesus Christ.
So would I have need to attack it twice, or?
No, the first one would have destroyed it, and so it would have been an instant destruction.
Alright, so I'll move that second attack onto the Unbroken Knight, or whatever it is down here with the.
Yeah, you break through its armor, but you do not fell the entity.
Alright.
That was it 20 damage, right?
No, it's just 8. On the second attack, on the first attack it was. Yeah.
Right, so the second one's only 8 damage, right?
Yeah.
Alright. No worries. It focuses its attention on you since you slaughtered us. Ubo.
Ubo will dash forwards.
The soul has been destroyed. Now that you're closer, Anton, you can see that this fellow is not so badly decomposed. He looks sullen and pale, but still fleshy, as if he hasn't yet mummified and is merely like a relatively fresh cadaver. But given that he is fighting alongside the dead, it's likely that he himself has joined their legions already. In either case, he chooses not to engage you, but rather raises his crossbow and points it at you. It's an 18 hit. Bam! It slams into your armor and bounces off, just due to the angle at which it struck. Curses his misfortune and remains back. Braxton.
Alright. Braxton is going to move up 30 feet. And then is just within range to take a longbow shot at that thing.
Beautiful. Magic bow? Magic bolts? Magic arrows?
No.
No. Nonetheless, the attack is a hit, and you penetrate through the shadow and tear a hole in it, causing it distress, but not disruption.
And that'll be it for now.
Radio. So, what's happening next? Unga Uthgat.
Alright, he's just gonna basically rush up to, like, be next to me.
Yeah, he's charging in there. Rah! Vicious.
I will fire at the same guy again.
Excellent. That's this guy at the back, right?
Yeah, the armored
Yeah.
guy.
Yep. All right. The armor stops the first blow, but not the second. He bleeds a coagulated blood that is thick and doesn't really run. Kind of jellifies a little too quickly. Alright. Let's see how far this goes. Range is 60 feet. Alright, what's that mean? That we'll have to move up here in order to target Anton with Enfeebling Ray. Ray of Enfeebling. Thanks. There we go. So ranged spell attack. You are targeted with a bolt of black energy that comes hurtling towards you.
Just hits.
Bam! And so what is the damage? It doesn't
It doesn't do damage.
Oh, it just reduces strength, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
I only deal half damage.
Oh, right. There it is. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Perfect. He is satisfied with that result. The warriors then pour into their various foes. Two on Anton and one on Uthgard. On Yungar the Uthgard. These are the two on Anton.
Both miss.
Alright. And on the Uthgard.
Hit.
God, he sucks.
Right. Oh, they are closing on our position. Well, I guess they've reached our front line.
Alright. So, I'm going to... guess I'll just go right here.
Yep.
Take a swing arena.
Your weapon rings on his
I get to
armor.
re-roll that.
Oh! Look out!
Look.
Oh!
Hold on. How many times can you re-roll it? There's got to be a...
One.
Just one. You
can
must
only
accept
roll
the result
one.
of the
Yeah.
second.
Oh my god. Tamora
So-
is...
Tamora is dead. You stab your blade into the chinks of his chainmail, and it gets all caught up in there, and yeah, it is just not happening.
Then I just hit him with the second one, and then swing the third one, I guess.
I believe right up here somewhere is a temple of tomorrow.
He takes 9.
And as he does, his soul pours from his chest and targets you with its wrath. Anton.
Alright, I'm gonna target the one above me.
Haha.
Alright.
The one below you has already been damaged.
I know.
Successful hit that pulls out
It only
his
deals,
soul from his chest.
it deals 4 damage
Ah,
because of the ray of enfeeblement.
excellent.
And as soon as that thing pops out, I'm gonna swing at it too.
You knew what you were doing.
Mm-hmm. Did I?
Ah, you were close, but it knew what it was doing as well, and so it.
Now I make a con save at the end of my turn.
Huh?
Right?
Yeah, that's right. I think that's how it works.
What's his DC?
DC 13.
Alright, so no more.
Ubo! With your 40-foot movement, we'll assume that you're able to, get yourself into a position if you wanted to engage one of the armored corpses.
Yeah, I'll move up to a spot where I can engage this one here.
Yeah, no worries.
And I shall reckless attack. I will bonus action rage again and then reckless attack.
Yeah, you can do that, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having to think about it. Yeah, of course you can. Beautiful. Crunch. 10, 18, right?
Yeah, 18.
Beautiful. Alright, so one of the souls is angry at Anton, the other one is angry at Cole. And so they launch their chilling assaults as they scratch at your eyes and reach into your mouth and choke you. But none of these attacks come close. Again, he reloads and fires upon the target, which is the most clear to him, the paladin. The crossbow.
I just deflect it with my shield.
With ease. He realizes that this is not an effective tactic and enters combat. Braxton mode.
Alright, so to start off, gonna take another shot at the mage,
Indeed.
because I don't like him.
Ooh. Strikes him actually, yeah. The arrow only disturbs him rather than hurting him severely, but it does disrupt his Is it not a concentration spell? No, it isn't. No, but
It's already gone.
Yeah, oh, good. Of course it has. Yeah. Disrupts his strategies anyway. Alright.
I'm gonna move up here and just for a note, gonna try and be next to Anton, but not in melee with the shadow.
No worries. You put yourself sort of on the opposite side of him or something.
Yeah.
Cool. Yunga.
Homie is gonna make a reckless attack against this guy.
Now we're talking. Crunch. Ooh, devastating. This one here? Yeah, it's a brutal blow, carves through his armor and into his flesh and bone. You get his attention, but it continues to stand. Chaos is unfolding, Vicious.
I think I have 2 shots left.
Yep.
I'm going to spend 3 grit points.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to fire at the same guy again.
For violent.
With violent shot. Shazam.
Crunch.
Ooh.
Brutal. Breaks through his armor.
Oh, it will be.
Ooh.
The 8 is the wrong roll. That's weird. It's supposed to be a 3d10.
Cool. So re-roll that. Go ahead. Boom.
Fucking 36 damage on those 2 hits. Nice.
Is that it? 36, is it?
Between those 2.
Total, yeah.
Crikey, I assumed that, like, the math was wrong. That's execution. Bam. He charges into battle and just explodes.
So you got 2 of those grit points back, didn't you?
Yeah,
You
one
get 'em
for a crit and one for a kill.
and- yeah.
It's only when he dies that his soul finally emerges from his corpse. The Netherese Shadow Spy is suddenly deeply concerned by this turn of events. Turns invisible, and I think that there's still one of you who can see the invisibility, is that right?
Right. The guy who's targeted him.
Excellent. So yeah, he's currently invisible and clearly thinks that he can no longer be seen and goes into retreat. The Umbral Warriors cover his retreat. One on Anton, one on Ubo, and one on Tom.
The one on Ubo has disadvantage.
Excellent. But doesn't it? But he's reckless as well, isn't he?
No, it cancels out, I guess.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 21
So-
hit Ubo?
Yeah.
Alright. 7 damage.
I think the necrotic stays the same, and the
Yeah.
slashing from the range.
It does, so it's 5. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You said all of them were on Ubo, or?
No, the first one was on Anton, which had missed, and the last one was on Colm, which was also missed.
What
Yup.
did you say they were? Oh no, he. Never mind. Yeah, Ubo
Yeah,
did.
correct. Yeah. Advantage, disadvantage. That's correct. Yep. Cool. Colm, cool.
Cool. So I'm going to just attack this dude here.
Beautiful. That will not break through his armor. That will. Oh, and it's enough too.
Max damage.
Reduces him to a pile of bones and steel and earns you the aggravation of his own soul.
And then I want to move. Will I get an I'm assuming I won't get an opportunity to attack if I just move right there.
Oh, no, you will not.
Okay. And then I want to attack the dude who has my hunter's mark on him.
Beautiful.
I have 3 attacks.
Crunch. And having destroyed the corpse of this one as well, you have earned Oh no, his soul's already dead, so there's no more soul wrath that is directed your way.
That's how you do it, boys.
No more existential angst.
Just real angst.
Yeah, that's true. Quite.
Alright. I'm gonna clear off this angry soul up here. Or try to, at least.
Excellent.
Ah!
But you shall not. His anger is like a shield. Nubo, there are no more fleshy corpses within your biting range.
It's alright, I'll move over to another fleshy corpse that will be within biting range.
Brilliant. Brilliant,
And-
I tell you.
Recklessly attack that one.
Alright. Crunch and crunch. 7, 8, 15. It's not going to be enough, but it's enough to twist the metal that is wrapped around his bones, at least. So, is this his soul? It is, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he's angry at Ubo for daring to attack his body. And so is the other soul. He's angry at Ubo for being nearby. And they both attempt to rush him from either side.
They have disadvantage.
No,
They
I
have
reckon.
advantage.
No,
Don't
just straight
Oh,
roll.
you reckon?
Straight roll.
Yeah.
Straight roll.
So only the 21 hits, right?
Yes, but that D4 strength is.
Yeah, that necrotic damage is nasty too. So D4 strength, here we go. You feel...
Oh, it's okay, we prepared for this.
We did. The one more on Call McCall, sorry.
Fuck you.
There we go.
Another natural one.
You are protected by, well, not Tamora, but someone.
Alright. Braxton is gonna move down here. And is going to take another shot at this motherfucker.
No, he's invisible. Uh-oh. The gig is up, even though the arrow only missed him by an inch. He knows that the gig is up.
He just, like, whips around and just sees Braxton staring right at him.
Uh-oh.
That's not supposed to happen.
He looks back down at himself. He can't see anything. Come on, what the?
You're cheating!
This is bullshit. You're not a wizard. Wizards don't carry bows unless they're elves. Alright, calm. I mean berserker. Crunchy.
Against
Alright.
the non-corporeal douche canoe over here.
Indeed, and it's a rather ineffective attack. Kind of like a striking mist with a stick. It breaks the mist up, but it yet lingers. It's having an effect, a slow one. Vito Vicious Costello.
You can enter the barbarian's rage, or enter the barbarian space if you need to.
I'm going to just reload my gun and that'll be my action.
Yeah, no worries. The Shadow Spy realizes that Braxton is onto him. And, ooh. You're gonna have to hit you with some magic missiles. 1, 2, 3. And sometimes we have to fall back on old favorites. And
Hey, it's a good spell.
exactly.
Ow.
And then tries to duck and hide behind the feminine form of this statue.
That breaks his invisibility, right?
Ah, that's ridiculous. What a terrible rule.
Oh yeah, he cast a spell, yeah.
Right. The Umbral Warriors. Well, let's see. I guess it's only one left, and it's going for Ubo.
Straight roll.
Not happening. Oh, cool.
I'm gonna put. I can't reach him. I'm gonna put my hunter's mark on this guy.
Excellent.
And he's taking damage, right?
He has taken some. Yes, he got stirred up by an axe.
15 hit.
Sure does. Stirs up the cloud a little more. So it's not a magic weapon, so it's all half. That's still going to be a lot.
The Hunter's Mark, is it the Hunter's Mark damage magical?
Yeah.
It's not piercing damage?
I was going to say, I don't know if it's considered magical.
No.
It's considered the type of the weapon.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, good question, but yeah, that's how it works. So even so, 18 and 15
32
divided by half is still going to destroy it. Yeah. And so there's the succession of rapier strikes kind of beats it up like a beaten egg, and the mist just dissipates.
That's me.
Alright. We'll continue to try to disperse the spirit in front of me.
Alright. And the spirit is severely assailed. And annihilated, actually, with those pair of strikes. It too just vanishes in a flash of golden light.
Alright, and then I will move down here.
Lubo, this soul is you cannot be bitten, it cannot be touched. How will you fight it?
I'm not going to bother fighting. I'm just going to keep tearing its fucking body apart.
No, that's the soul of the lead guy.
Ubo does not understand this. He's just going to keep tearing his body apart.
Did not pass metaphysics in turtle school.
Ubo smash.
The first one hits, the second does not. And breaks through his armor, but does not cause it to collapse. It's holding itself together by sinew and hinges. Meanwhile, you're assailed from your other side.
Now this is actual disadvantage, right?
Recklessly again, didn't he?
No, I did not reckless.
No, then it misses. Either way, it misses.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Braxton, we have the upper hand.
Braxton's going to take a step down and take another shot.
Beautiful. And your arrow flies true and sinks him and knocks him almost to the ground, but he scurries! There's blood in the form of shadow leaking out from the wounds, trying to get what protection he can. You know a man who is doomed to die when you see one, whether they're made of flesh or of some ethereal matter, and this entity is terrified.
Jungar is going to do nothing. He doesn't want to overextend himself and possibly get killed for these people he just met.
We should go now, while we have a chance.
Yeah, he's just going to do that.
Vicious.
I am going to put my pistol away, which is an action, right? And then I can only unsheathing another weapon. Is that an action?
That you can unsheathe one weapon as a free action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna unsheathe the Gloriana sword and
Wonderful.
hold up its light for inspiration.
Indeed, inspiring it is. For this town is the center of Gloriana, its dark heart, that we are here to purify it, to cut out that cancer. And the Shadow does not wish this to occur, and he is sure that if he casts invisibility a second time, this time it will surely work. And he hides behind the statue. The Umbral Warrior brings its wrath down upon Ubo.
Disadvantage.
Will not then. Oh, cool. The momentum is with us.
I can't see anything, so I am going to move over here. Hunter's Mark, that guy. Has he taken damage?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
No. As
Has
now. There we go. Stirring it up. 13.
And one more time.
Excellent. That'll do it. And it'll be, is that 14 damage?
14, yeah. So 7.
Okay, and almost, you're stirring it up, mixing it up like chocolate ice cream mixed up with it. And
You served it up, and I'll smash it down. Or maybe.
the second time, at least. The first one was just a feint, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Ubo, it's all over.
I will return my wrath on this bag of meat recklessly.
Grunt. Absolutely shattering. Destruction. Now, but where's he gone, Braxton?
Can I see any sign of him?
He's hiding, yeah. So he's got like as much cover as possible, +5 to his armor class. But yeah,
Okay.
you can see his cloak and his arms, and when he peers over the side, you can see him peering out.
Okay, so just 3/4 cover. Got it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So I'll still take a shot.
No. Damn. How do we finish this, Braxton?
Just as he's peeking, like Braxton just sits there waiting with the bow drawn, and the second his head peeks up, it just goes straight through and dissipates his head.
Drops the staff with a clang, and clearly as much solid as he is ephemeral. His robes also collapse to the ground.
How are we all doing?
I'm alright.
Ow.
Really? For real?
Yes.
Okay.
Braxton
I will
is
go
not quite
over
bloodied,
and-
but is not in great shape.
Alright, I'll supplement whatever healing you can do to yourself. I'll spend 5 lay on hand.
And then I'm gonna take one of my potions.
Ubo is feeling a little bit weak.
I will put 10 on Ubo.
Actually, why don't you all retcon that? And I'll just do Healing Spirit.
Oh. Okay.
Because I can Healing Spirit pretty much everybody. Like, for a full minute. Basically,
And
everybody's gonna...
Colossus
Yeah, everybody dies, too.
And just spend a minute running through this
Yeah,
freaking
basically,
healing.
yeah. So, that would be... 10d6.
I mean, if Arctic wants to allow it to work
depends
that
on-
way.
Does it work that way? Because I'm not sure that it does. Like there's been sage advices on this. There's no doubt about it.
Technically, it does because it's the most bullshit spell in the game.
Okay,
But it is something the DM needs to decide on because most DMs will.
So let me read the thing for you. Until the spell ends, whenever
anyway.
you or a creature can see moves in the spirit space for the first time on a turn, it starts its turn there, or you can cause the spirit to restore 1d6. So basically, I can run it around in a circle 30 feet per turn, and every time it hits a creature, it restores 1d6.
Whatever the sage advice says,
essentially, what the sage advice has said on it is that per raw, you are allowed to do that where it heals a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
However, he has stated that is not how it is intended to work, and they have stated that they generally house rule it.
I've got a great compromise that works in this situation alone, and after that, I might, do what they do. No, we'll go with the full one. However, because it takes you so much time to get it done, it's a big long ritual. By the time you've finished,
it's only a bonus action.
It takes a minute to heal everyone, though.
Okay.
Yeah. And so by the time you've finished, this is accelerated over the normal rules, but it suits the situation. By the time you've finished, you've spent so much time in the unearthly necrotic aura of this town that you each gain a level of exhaustion.
We were gonna get it anyway.
Not worth.
It's only skill checks.
I know there's an exhaustion thing I can toggle on. Oh, there it is.
So, Braxton is going to pick up the robes and the staff.
Yeah.
And tuck them away for now.
Does everybody see that raven?
The raven. It flies out of one of the windows of the tower, of the area, in fact. There's a bell tower at the top of this building, and a raven takes wing from it. Flies down. It's hard. It doesn't really come into vision at first. It's kind of a black smear, possibly a tiny cloud. But it eventually approaches you to the point where you'd be able to quite easily hit it with your missile weapons.
Also, grab anything from the corpse of the
big dude.
The big dude.
Or the head dude. Yeah, I'll look over the half-mummified corpse of the...
Yeah.
While we're doing the healing.
I'm just gonna observe the raven.
No worries. The big guy has a plate mail. Having a look at what else he's got. Where is he? Tommen. Okay, so let's see what he's got. He's got plate mail, a greatsword, a heavy crossbow. Yeah, that's what he has.
Well, that plate mail would be nice, but we don't have the time.
Nope.
Alright, we'll continue on. Oh wait, what's around the?
Does the raven do anything?
The raven is approaching. Yeah, it's flying straight towards you. Yeah. At a height, maybe. It's not like dive bombing you, but it's like flying in your direction, as if it intends to circle the way a hawk might, which is pretty unusual behavior for a raven. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch it.
Everyone else?
Yeah, I guess.
Is it like watching us?
It's flying overhead, approaching you.
I guess. Gonna ask Jungar if he knows where Halvar went.
Yes! He thinks he goes to the main castle. He says that the wizards keep their magic in there.
Well, let's
Then that's
head
what we
there then.
The black
Out of character,
bird.
we only have about an hour.
If it gets too close, Uber's throwing a hand axe at it.
Excellent. It's about to land upon the shrine. and you have your axe raised.
Yeah, Ubo's throwing a hand.
Alright, you strike the raven, and in a flurry of feathers, it flies away.
It's fucking still flying after getting hit by.
Druids.
Definitely not an ordinary raven.
Nope, we need to get
Nothing
inside.
in here is ordinary. We'll just hurry up
we'll
and
head
get
inside.
Okay. So you
Try to
reach the
clear
brink.
this in an hour.
That's it. You reach the brink of this of the castle, and as you might expect, the castle door is both tall and strong and secure. There's no sally port that you can see here, and it's a fairly decorative castle. It's not entirely defensive, so there are some windows that are around about the third story, not on the first, but about the third floor. There's some windows. So it's quite defensive, but it's far from impregnable. Yet this front door, looks as solid as stone can be.
Can we just try to open it?
Yeah.
Make an athletics roll.
Disadvantage.
I will assist him and cast guidance.
Alright. So a D4
Yeah.
And
and advantage. Well, yeah, straight roll.
And a D4 on top of that, right?
Yep.
Beautiful.
25.
DC 25. And
Oh,
so
wow.
you hear I know, right? You hear the splintering of wood as you break it down, smash, smash, and you enter a kind of I guess.
Isn't it a disadvantage because we've all got.
He was helping me.
I shall assist.
Yeah, good call there. And you smash into it, and you take quite by surprise three entities who are standing ready for you. One is dressed in the Netherese style. One is all but naked, and the other one is an aging man of a kind of sinister countenance. The Netherese one is all but shadow, whereas the other two appear like fresh cadavers. Gaunt, but intact. And guess
Roll initiative.
got it.
Ha! I'm caught completely
If
by
we
surprise.
all roll low initiative, none of us roll low.
Look at all those eights. I mean, having members of the group go simultaneously is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, we all rolled low, so who gives a shit?
I'm caught completely by surprise by this.
They're waiting for you.
Of course, I am the first one in their path, so
One is Netherese, one is unarmored, and the other bears a heavy cloak under which you can see the glint of steel.
Alright. Well, since we just so happen to be grouped up perfectly right now, and I go first, we're going to start off with Blast,
ooh.
and that's going to go on Anton, myself, and meeny miny Ubo.
It's attacks and saving throws, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Yunga recognizes his old companions.
And
Yeah.
and at which point Braxton is going to just sort of step off a little bit, sort of partial cover behind this wall.
Does Ungar say anything before he rushes towards them?
I'll give him a wisdom saving throw.
Is that how you do it? Is that ability check, or how do I do saving throw?
Yeah, that's how you do him. Yeah.
Okay.
He looks at you nervously, and he looks at his friends, at his companions, and he looks at you, and he looks at his friends, and he raises his axe, and he holds his action.
He does what? Sorry.
He's got his axe ready to attack.
Okay.
When he sees an enemy, he's just not sure who the enemy is yet.
Okay. Fair enough.
The shadow spark. Targets the first one he can see with a ray of innovation. Ray of enfeeblement. But it bounces off the chest, even though you're unprepared for it. With the splintering wood, the elder of the men run towards you, and he has a spear in one hand and a shield in the other, and he attempts to bash you first with the shield, but when that doesn't work, he stabs you twice with his spear.
That 22 hits.
Okay.
The 14.
The weapon is brutal and jagged and delivered with a kind of inhumane strength that you're not anticipating. This creature clearly has strength from beyond the grave.
Alright. The protection from evil and good still.
Excellent. The unarmored man raises his hand crossbow, and with the door shattered and his path clear, he chooses the halfling to be his target, figuring that it's best for the assassin to take out his rival before he gets a chance. But it's a miss, and Ubo, you're up as the handsome man reloads his crossbow.
So this guy's raising his axe and standing over Colm.
Yeah, kind of like raising it, maybe not. He's more like he's got it gripped in two hands and looking around with fear and hatred in his eye, confusion, madness.
Does it look like he's going to attack one of us or them?
It'll take an insight check, and that's an action if you want to do it.
And it's at disadvantage.
No. I'll just start moving towards them.
Alright. Alright. Vito Vicious Costello.
I will charge at the old man and slash him with Gladys Glow.
Break through the protection, the chain that he wears underneath those robes. Break through twice. And undead as he is, the Gladius Gloriana is an effective weapon against his undying flesh. Alright, okay, cool. And so he fights on, completely unperturbed. And Colm, you're standing behind Anton, who himself is kind of in the breach of this huge castle-sized door that we've just broken down. It's swinging off its hinges after we hit it with such force. What do you do?
Well, since I'm a small creature, I can occupy the same space as Anton, right?
I think so, yeah.
So I'm just gonna go up.
I mean, sort of, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, basically be on him and stab this dude through his legs.
Yeah, too easy.
I'm not gonna put. Yeah, I'm gonna move my hunter's mark to this guy.
Excellent.
You would not currently have your hunter's mark because you cast the healing.
Oh, you're
spirit
right. You're right.
concentration.
Cool.
Yeah, I won't do it then.
No worries.
Wow.
One of those hits.
Terrible. Alright.
Okay. Is that 14?
Yeah.
Beautiful. You're reducing him. He's clearly got a lot of endurance for an old fellow, but you're draining him with each strike.
Alright, I will return his engagement. So 19 and 24 to hit.
Excellent. Both of which will do it.
Jesus, 26 damage. Holy shit.
26. That is pretty massive. Yeah. We're he's not going to be lasting as long as I thought he might. Brax.
No one gangs up on Anton and lives.
Alright. Braxton is going to step up kind of sort of as close to Anton as he can kind of get here. And take a shot at the mage. $14 to hit.
14 on the mage will do it. Alright, and it's an injury, but not lethal. The Uthgard is still a little bit confused. Give him a fresh wisdom saving throw, please. Yeah, that's right. He knows that that his friends are dead, and he has come to accept this. He must be on the side of the living. And he lets forth his battle cry.
Can he use his action to dash since he held his action?
Yeah, good call. Yeah, he can use his action to dash 30 feet and then move and then attack. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, he wouldn't go yet, would he?
It's his turn next.
It's his go now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna schwack his Uncle Jeff here.
Hey, Uncle Jeff, gonna be on the bearing end of a bit of Uthgard rage. Crunch.
Ooh.
He proves his worth as he
Uncle Jeff diddled him in a game closet or something.
That's it. He cuts him down, and he will not forgive Jeff. All those years ago, the lollies mean nothing.
Oh God.
Alright. And so, this poor Shadow Spy is left in an extreme amount of fear as he sees the champion that is meant to defend him fall down. And so, with everything that he's got, he unleashes all of the magic missiles, all of them, into, well, I guess the Uthgard. Did I get rid of the Uthgard by accident? No, he's at the bottom. There he is.
Oh,
He's sharing Ubo's space.
He just unleashes all the magic missiles that he can into the barbarian in desperation. So second level spell, 4 magic missiles. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ugh.
Damn.
That sucks. That's 17.
I mean, he healed with the healing spirit too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
He claws desperately at the solid door that is at the back of this room, which is just not giving an inch. Those of you who are still outside, those handful of you who haven't entered into the melee, see someone come to the window of the tower that is highest, the Airy, the bell tower. It's a dark-haired woman with alabaster skin, and as she peers out, so too to a murder of crows that lean out of the various windows, and some take to wing and perch themselves up on the top of the bell tower, and they all gaze down upon you with a kind of cold curiosity.
Brax will look at her curious, but a little occupied at the moment.
The assassin is quite desperate at this point, and but undying as he is, he rushes in and attempts to end the life of, let's see, not the turtle, because that thing looks dangerous, but one, it's Cole, and two, that's who it's Cole. Alright, and so he runs in and stabs twice with its short sword that is half steel and half shadow.
Miss.
It's a miss. And Ubo, it's run straight in towards you. It's still, this creature is mostly flesh. Only the shadow can be seen where its eyes used to be. Oh, I don't know if that'll do it. Let's have a look. Yep. One of them hits and one misses.
Just 9.
Just 9. The entity fights on, unperturbed by the grievous wound you have inflicted. Vicious.
I shall slash at the creature in front of me.
And it defends and blocks. It deflects your attack. Oh, the first one, however, I didn't see the first one. First one will hit. And tear into its undead flesh, blinding it and burning it. But the handsome corpse fights on.
In a handsome corpse he shall remain. I'm just going to stab him 3 times. No hunter's mark.
It's traditional. You do.
Okay, first one. Bye-bye.
Eliminatos.
29.
And the poor Netherese with its claws at the door in fear.
Yeah, I move up as well.
Yeah, we just cornered and finish it.
It dissipates. You stab and stab and stab again, and each time there's a flash of light until nothing but cloth and a stick remain. You notice that the door has the seal of Cormier displayed across it, a purple dragon, and in the purple dragon's mouth is a door knocker. The door is solid, reinforced with steel.
Do your thing, you purple dragon.
I open the door.
You push at the door and it is closed. Rattles.
Knock the door. Use the door knocker.
Yeah.
Should we knock? Alright,
Yeah,
let's be
polite.
kind.
Let's be polite.
Yeah, I'll knock the door with the door knocker. 3 times. Knock, knock, knock.
The secret Dragon Knight door knock.
Knock the door 3 times, and for a moment there's nothing but the silence to save for the echo of the action. And then it begins to creak and open. And it reveals inside a particularly dark hallway, a maze of tunnels that are designed to disorientate and defend. There's an oppressive air here, a kind of stale quality to the air. It smells bad and it feels crushing and cold, like forgotten memories and broken hearts and dreams that have gone astray and will never be realized. Even your dark vision is stifled, and you can see no more than about 10 or 20 feet. It's blinding. You hold up your torches, and they seem to be choked. It's dark and dull and dim in here. Do we enter?
Forward.
Yep.
I
Well,
will enter.
Braxton is going to look up to see if he can still see that woman up there.
You can, and the crows are watching you as well.
Do you know the way through? He'll call up to her.
And she looks to one of the birds, who looks at her, and the bird flies down and perches out on the edge of an alcove. Calls at you, caw, caw, caw.
And Braxton will activate the Golden Fleece to speak with animals.
Follow! Follow! And it looks up towards the top of the eyrie, towards the bell tower, looks at you, looks at the door. Follow!
I will follow you. And he'll head towards it.
The
Call to
raven.
the others.
It jumps back down on the ground and hops into your hands.
Yep.
And just kind of points the way, which is the way these guys were going anyway. And a few of them have already entered. And as soon as they do, so those of you who went past the door, who breached it, make a wisdom saving throw.
Is Bliss still up?
Yep, should still be.
So, wisdom?
Yeah.
Oh.
We all have disadvantage because we're exhausted.
Ability
No,
check.
that's just ability checks.
Oh, okay.
I will burn an inspiration. Oh, for fuck's sake.
You somehow got the exact same number.
Exact same score, yeah.
I will use inspiration.
The fucking song.
Excellent.
I'm not listening to it. What is it?
It's fucking Eminem.
Eminem in Tilberton.
Oh, fuck.
Lose
Alright.
yourself.
So Braxton will walk in. I found us a guide.
Watch out. This gives you a really bad hangover.
How?
Did I pass, by the way?
You did, yeah.
Was it?
DC
Okay.
13. DC 13.
Was this the charm or anything?
Me too.
It's a fear effect.
Oh.
Oh, Billy, you have advantage then.
Yeah. He had advantage, which he failed the first time anyways.
Because of the Gladius.
Yep.
Alright.
But,
I push forward because these guys, I don't know what the hell's going on with them. Just boop, 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 boop.
do I need to, I'll roll mine here quick.
Just walking around.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
have advantage because of the dwarven brew that I drank.
Alright. You can see some shadows extending from behind a wall. There are some entities approaching. 5 of them. Their armor rattles as the steel slaps against the stone. You can see that you can see their shadows because there must be some light from where they are, which is causing their shadow to be cast long and in your direction.
Just ready my weapon.
Are these things dangerous? He'll ask the bird.
Follow. All right.
Continue following where the bird leads.
5 men here around the corner, dressed from head to toe in armor. They have blades in their hands in one hand and shields in the other, save for the one at the front who carries a torch, a flaming torch. And all of them wear the tabards of the purple dragons of Cormia. If you've been here before, you may recognize the former commanders of this location.
Are they people or are they shadow demons?
Good question.
Is Sir Ambrose a purple dragon knight?
He is.
So I probably recognize him.
And he holds up the torch, and when he holds up the torch, you're able to look into his face, and you can see that his eyes are naught but shadow. His face is gaunt, and the whiskers on his face and the chestnut in his hair has been streaked with salt and grey. He holds up the torch, flanked by 2 knights on either side. What do you do?
Braxton will step up with the raven. We're on an errand.
Welcome. He looks at each of you. What do you have? Any banners or tabards or anything of your own? Any insignias?
I have a holy symbol of Lathander.
Braxton wears the holy symbol of Shantae.
It would probably be pretty obvious that you're purple dragon knight too, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I probably have a purple dragon tabard or something.
He points towards it. I recognize Cormia. He says, challenged the way an elderly man is challenged to remember what his wife's face looks like. I remember Cormia.
I remember you as well, Sir Ambrose.
Quick question. Did any of these figures, real fast, resemble Halgar?
No.
That's what I thought. We've accounted for pretty much all of his Huskarls at this point, but not for him. Got it. We're looking for an individual. Goes by the name of Halgar.
He plagues these lands. He is an enemy of Cormir.
He shakes his head. No, not a name. Not a name, I know. She will know.
Who is she?
I'm assuming the woman in the tower.
I never saw her.
You are not to
This
blame.
one is leading us to.
You are not to blame. He mumbles to himself. You are not to blame. This is the work of the shadow. And he turns away from you and begins to walk back the way he has come from.
I'm gonna follow.
I'll continue following the bird.
The bird looks towards you and looks towards him in the direction that Colm is going.
Alright.
I follow beside Braxton.
You climb up a winding staircase. They're crumbling under the weight of time. until you, and as you approach, the bell rings out, a peal that echoes throughout Tilverton. These ringing bells begin to echo throughout the town, and it's a reinvigorating feeling. It lifts a lot of the pain and the weariness from your bones. It lifts the exhaustion and rejuvenates you somewhat, and you find yourself before the woman.
For real, it lifts the exhaustion?
It does. It lifts the exhaustion.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And yet the necrotic energy still lingers. There's no doubt about that. While the bell, the peal of these church bells is invigorating, the oppressive aura, the atmosphere of death lingers. And you stand before a woman, a beautiful woman of indeterminate age, perhaps 30, 35. And a murder of crows, a dozen or a score of crows, all cawing quietly while the bells continue to ring. And she watches and waits and has an aura of grace about her that is both comforting and intimidating. And and then the crows begin to quieten down till there's nothing but a soft.
Hello, ma'am.
She seems to sigh, as if accepting some sadness. Hello, she says, and welcome.
What are you doing here?
This is my realm.
Your realm? Who are you?
I am queen of these lands. And you are heroes.
You're the queen of Gloriana?
No.
I must say that I genuinely respect each of you. I have been watching you, and your actions are brave and are bold. Your determination, your willingness to fight for your lives, for that which you find important, is commendable. And so, it is with such great sorrow that we finally meet.
Where are we?
Why sorrow?
The answer to both questions is the same. Because you are somewhere that you should be not. Because this is somewhere that should be not. I know not yet how this place came to be, but I know that it cannot be. Things must go back to some semblance of the way they were. And this place, this does not belong in my land, and I will give it back, even if it takes 100 years for me to achieve this.
Now, is this the name of the person that was actually in charge of Tilverton?
No, you've never heard of this entity before.
Okay.
Well, Queen, have you seen another man named Helgar the Grim?
She nods. That was the name of the man who came through and plundered what treasures could be found and made off with them, abandoning the very cadre that he had led in here in the first place to their doom. He too shall be doomed, but he has at least escaped the confines of this... What did you call it? This land? Gloriana?
Gloriana. Right out, right outside of Cormier. It's not that far away.
Cormier. Cormier.
This town in particular is called Tilverton.
Tilverton. Tilverton in Cormier. In Toril. I see. I finally see.
You're not
If we're
from
not
these parts,
there-
are you?
If we're not there, then where are we?
Well, you are in Gloriana, perhaps, but Gloriana is not where it should be. Or Tilverton, or whatever you call it. But Tilverton should not be here. Tilverton
Where
should not
is-
be here in the Shadowfell.
Ooh.
I need your help.
We need yours too.
Very
It's
good.
us that need your help.
Then let us work together to restore Tilverton. Let us send Tilverton back to where it belongs. Let us make sure that this town again is back in the world of Faerun, the world of Toril, even if it takes us 100 years to achieve this.
Will it take us 100 years?
We cannot know, but there is a great darkness on the horizon, a great calamity that history will know as the Spell Plague. Its tendrils have already begun to erupt like a volcano releasing steam, but the world has not yet been exposed to it. Perhaps during this period, or after it, we can finally achieve it.
Well, why do I have the feeling that we're already underway with our plan? We can't go back, can we?
You can go back, eventually. And she smiles, but that is another story.
Ah, fuck! Oh, fuck!
Guess I won't be plundering any keeps anytime soon.
So, the mysteries of Tilverton remained a mystery. They remained secrets. Unplundered. At least for now.
Huh. Well then.
So, the new meta. Don't go to Tilverton unless you complain
Is that
Holy
it,
fuck.
Matt? Are we done?
That is the end.
I suspected that's how it was going to end out.
And now we all become Shatter Kai.
Yeah, I suspected this was going to happen. I'm not sure if you thought the same thing, Tim, but because we were here when it happened, it was very much, this place is part of the Shadowfell now.
I had the suspicions when we saw like the shadows everywhere. But
Yeah.
like when they were like at the gates, I'm like,
Yeah.
those aren't skeletons.
Fuck! Why didn't we bring Jane with us? That would have made for such an edgy Marinus.
Is this the Raven Queen?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh my god. Not my god.
She's like the antithesis of your god.
I am a paladin of the light lost in the shadow.
No?
I am the new Marinus.
You are needed. More now,
Sounds
more
like-
than ever.
You may become a paladin of the Raven Queen soon yet, sir. No wonder
No,
tomorrow
Queen.
we're dead.
Raven Queen's not a god.
One cannot have
She
shadow
takes-
without
She
light.
takes warlocks, but she's not a god.
Well, that's not entirely true. She is a god in some worlds, just not all. She's not a god in Forgotten Realms, so you can't take her as a god in the realms, but you can take her as a god in other worlds.
Where we are conveniently located. because we are not, in
Toril.
favor anymore, boys.
How did Helgard get out then?
Plain
Well,
shift.
he didn't escape. He escaped into the Shadowfell. He escaped beyond the limits of this town, but not into.
Okay.
So he's now out there in the broader Shadowfell, armed to the teeth with magical items.
Okay, so we didn't get completely fucked.
So you know what this means?
Shadowfell
We can-
campaign.
No. Something else to find during Planescape.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle.
The group finds it, and they're gonna recognize one person, which is Braxton.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you get here?
Brotor's gonna flip his shit.
Yeah, I thought I fucking told you to go to Suzel. Why the fuck are you in the shadows?
And he can rage now, too. Oh my god.
Welcome to the plains,
Yeah,
where everything's made up and the rules don't matter.
The rules don't fucking matter. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Oh, fuck.
Now our army is just posted up
Sitting around.
outside. They're like, well, what happened there? Where's everybody? Or we have a convenient place to stage an assault onto the Shadowfell.
Fuck.
I should have known something was up when you wouldn't have Copperheart come in with.
Poor Copperheart. She can wait, or he can wait though. He's got several hundred years left. I don't know how time works between the planes though, so
You have no idea how bad this is for Copperheart.
I don't. I know she lost someone before
Yeah.
because of the way we talked.
The worst part